Welcome to the FeedBak podcast, everybody. My name is Back, and we're here at the Native Hostel. It's been a minute. If you haven't checked out a previous show, I did a show with my brother and sister who talked about VIP stuff. So if you haven't checked that out, make sure you go check it out. We're going to be talking about ACL today. So I'm surrounded with live music festival experts, I would say. Our returning champ, Micco. No introduction needed.
2007 champ.
You're going down this week.
And you've heard him, bunch of times on the show. We got Mike Manewitz. Is that how you pronounce it?
That's how you pronounce it.
All right, thank you so much for being here. And ATX Concert Queen.
New challenger.
Yes, so you're gonna have to this is a bout going on right here. So Clarissa, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We all did ACL pretty hardcore.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I only went weekend too, so maybe not as hardcore as you guys did. You were backstage working stuff. You were all over the place with the VIP and all that. I don't know what you did, but I'm sure you were in there. Crazy with it.
Trouble.
So
you'll find out.
Oh yeah. But I want to. We know Micco. Micco knows all the live music stuff. Same with Mike. But I want to get to know you because first of all, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Thank you for coming. So what ATX Concert Queen, how did that come about?
So I actually had two friends from opposite sides of the country just talking to them about music and what I was doing and catching up, and they're like, God, you're like the concert queen. You're always at a show and I'm always watching your Instagram stories and seeing that. And then literally the same day that I was at a show with my friend, and she's like introducing me to her friends, and she's like, Clarissa's the concert queen of Austin. So it was kind of just a weird coincidence that two people from opposites that don't know each other both called me that. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna change my name, let's see what happens. And it just kind of snowballed into ATX Concert Queen, and it's just been fun and sharing my love of music and my passion with that. And I feel like my followers have been dictating kind of my content and what I'm doing, and I try to keep it local with Austin as much as I can and support local.
How long have you been in Austin?
About 2.5 years.
2.5 years?
Yeah, I'm a Texas native.
Already the
You're already the queen. We slacking, boys. This is not.
Take notes, guys.
I mean, it's a monarchy. It's not fair.
But it's funny. I have a friend. My friend is the plate princess. So that's kind of, again, it was like concert queen, plate princess.
Your daughter?
She's a really good friend of mine.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just she rolls around with all the Instagram bloggers. So that was kind of, again, just a route that I was like, oh, I see all these other people doing it, but I don't see anything for music. And so, being that to segue for people and sharing music, and people are always looking at my page and sending me messages like, Clarissa, it looks like you go to a lot of concerts. What's happening this week if I'm out of town? So again, it just kind of started on its own. I just started putting out a weekly calendar, started posting the different shows I was going to and the experience. And that's what my passion is just really showing people what that looks like, from festivals to concerts to everything.
Were you coming to Austin when you didn't live here, for festivals and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
All ACL, Fun Fest?
ACL, Coachella, everything. So
Wow.
Why music? Why live music? Some people like art, some people like TV, movies,
food.
But you're live music, right?
Live music, that's my passion.
Why is that? How long has it been your passion?
Oh, wow.
Is there any sort of triggering thing like, oh, that was a concert, made me go to many concerts after that? Is there anything like that?
That's a great question. I feel like, again, it's just, that's what I've always, so music's always been a part of my family, and my mom, real into the musical influences, Phil Collins, Janet Jackson, the Jacksons. So growing up, even in college, I played basketball in college, and I would make our DJ sets for, we'd run out to, and that was kind of, everyone would come to me to make the mix CDs. I didn't use Napster. I don't want to say that.
We did. We all did.
My friend, she got fined pretty hard for that. But,
wow.
But yeah, so that was kind of, again, I just kind of became the music, just mecca for my friends, and always ask me about music, making mix CDs for people all the time. And then it just kind of, we didn't have I went to school in Mobile, Alabama. So there wasn't a lot of music festivals over there.
Hang out
fast. I'm getting the fuck out of here. I want to see some people with guitars that know how to play.
Yeah, so then I ended up moving to, I was in San Antonio, and then again, just constantly around music, and just was in San Diego, watched music there, but I just sought more. And that's when I went to Dallas and then Austin. And Austin's just been great for that. It really supports that. But I just love being able to, it's the only place I feel like I can really quiet my mind and not think
In the middle of a
about
loud
everything.
crowd.
Okay, I like
Yeah,
that.
but it is
That's
just
good.
a
That's
way
a
for me
piece
to
you get.
tune out and not think and just really feel
Enjoy
the
the
music
moment.
and yeah, exactly, and be present and not worry. And I have people make fun of me. I do have 2 phones. I have a music phone and I have a regular
And one for the
phone.
plug.
Go ahead.
But my music phone, I mean, you'll see it because I don't want to be interrupted when I'm in the experience. I want to have.
You're not the type to be like, all right, let me shoot the first.
I get my
song.
shots
Yep.
and then I put it up.
I even know
Yeah.
when to get it. Yeah.
Yeah, you know when, like, and again, when you
And
see
then enjoy the
enough
moment.
shows, you know, like, what's good, what people are going to respond to. And
Uh-huh.
again, I've just done Instagram for so long, so I know what to post, what people will respond to, and I get my shots, and then again, I want to enjoy it. So I'm not that person that's there, you know, because no one likes that jumpy
Right.
people.
Yeah,
You see
yeah.
people. I saw a guy at Red Rocks for Odessa, and I mean, he literally had his hand up the whole time, just recording.
It's on
but he's
iPad.
jumping up. Yeah.
ridiculous.
But he was jumping up and down the whole time. I'm like, he's gonna go back and watch that, and
No, it's not.
And
It's
Don't
not.
know.
It's not. Like I still have plenty of footage from ACL that I haven't put up. I'm just
Really?
being lazy about it.
I watch all my footage.
Yeah,
I
watch
love
mine
it.
too.
It's
I have
just like
one last question for you, just in the get to know phase.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
What was your first live show you ever went to?
Oh gosh.
Like not like some local. I went and saw my friends play in 3rd grade on the recorder, but like
Like on a big stage.
a paid concert. Like what was? The
Are you
first
talking about
one?
like when I was a kid
Yeah.
Yeah,
or-
sure.
Yep, I do.
In life,
in life?
since you've been a human being.
In sync.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
Preferably.
have a cool. I don't really have a cool. I mean,
Okay,
that's,
no, but
that's
that's
what I
the
see these
one.
kids. Yeah, I
Yeah.
see kids now, and you know, I was sitting at ACL, and I'm sitting across these 2 kids that are gonna get to experience Metallica. You know, at 5, and I'm like, or the 5 that we talked about.
Yeah.
You know, but it's still like that's a beautiful thing. You know, same with being
get
able
that
to introduce that. You know, that wasn't something San Antonio that we necessarily did a lot, but it was always something that I wanted to be a part of. And seeing it now, and like I said, just seeing how the festival industry has just exploded and allowing people to have more touch points, to see more bands, to see more groups. You know, we just didn't have that.
So how many ACLs have you gone to so far? This is number.
Transition.
Well,
Nice.
someone, and so I had done like a survey on my Instagram. Somebody asked me this question. My first ACL was back in 2008, and I've only missed, I'd say, about 2. So the math, like 8.
Nice.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
that's
I go
impressive.
every year.
Is it ACL your favorite festival?
Ooh.
And Austin. I'm not comparing with
Austin.
Coachella and all the other ones. Just the
I
Austin.
mean, what's,
Yeah,
music
well-
festival.
what's left?
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Utopia Fest,
Yeah, I'm going to
Euphoria
that.
Fest,
I'm going.
well, South by,
Seismic
of course.
was actually I really enjoyed Seismic. That was like an EDM festival, and normally I can't handle a lot of EDM, but I ended up doing Ultra this year, and I loved it. But Seismic was really great for, again, it's not that real trappy kind of house music, but I think ACL is just my favorite because it's so diverse. And you can see, if you miss something, you can see it the following weekend, which is why I try to go both weekends. I've been fortunate to be able to do that.
Go on, let's dive right into it. Which weekend did you go? You did both.
I did both.
Mike, you worked
I was working both weekends. Yeah.
and you went.
I was lame this year. First year I've only done one weekend.
Oh man,
I know.
you're
These are my
you've
juice.
been sloppy, man. You've been sloppy this year.
You go first weekend.
I went first weekend.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so typically I'll go both weekends because I like the lineup that much. Whereas everyone, like, I can't see everyone on one weekend. But that wasn't. I liked the lineup, but it was arranged in such a way that I was able to see everyone I wanted to see for the
Wow.
most part. I mean, I missed
And you're
some
pre-
people, but
And you prepare like you usually do. Like you
Oh,
have
yeah.
like this is my list, and so I'm gonna
You
go
got
to.
pivot tables and.
Yeah, he has a spreadsheet.
Did you have,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, he has all
Oh, yeah.
algorithms
Impressive.
organized. Micco Fay
Awesome.
organized.
So I went weekend one. I mean, for my Texas people, you'll know that it overlaps with football, right? Two loves in Austin is football and music, and I'm a Longhorn and alumni of UT, and Texas OU weekends typically the second weekend of ACL. So since they've been having it both weekends, I used to always go. ACL was the first weekend, and then the second weekend I'd go to the game, Texas OU. Then they started having it both weekends, so it kind of screwed me up. This year I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to the game. But then the game ended up being the first weekend of ACL, and I bought my first weekend of ACL ticket like in March or April or somewhere ridiculous before I knew the lineup. And then that happened.
You
so
know
that's-
you're going.
Yeah, so I'd already went. And
I mean, I'm not. Well, this is my maybe third ACL, believe it or not.
And not subsequent, not
No,
sequential.
no, no. Because to me, like the draw for me, ACL was always, oh, it's a bunch of bands with guitars, and there was never a draw for me to be like, oh, I gotta see that. So my first ACL was Outkast, the year Outkast came. Now that was
2014?
dope. And then was it 2 years after that was when it was Eminem.
I think
No, I didn't see
Eminem
Drake.
was the year of Outkast, I think.
It was the year of Outkast.
Yeah, Drake was the 2 years later.
Oh, okay. Well, this was my third, but I think they just from last year, like they made a lot of changes to the setup. And when I first walked up, I was like, okay, so now you have another stage on the other side of Bone Springs Road.
Right.
So
Right.
Now you have a stage over there, yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
They
and
didn't have
so
it before.
what are some of the changes that you guys notice?
I thought like making that Barton Springs stage. I think last year was the first year they did it. When they made it that size, like about the same size as that Miller Lite stage. Like I thought that was a good move. I think they changed the orientation. I think that seemed pretty solid. Like I think just general layout. They've had the same site for 16 years, and so they're pretty good at knowing like the flow of how people move around the park. And I know a lot of the people on like do like signage and do just general ops around, and like they respond a lot. Like you would see some area of the park that would be like a little bit congested, or like a fence was in like an inconvenient place or something, and then the next day it'd be moved, or like it's like they're really on the ball, and they have a
Did people actually submit like feedback and say, oh, we would like to see X, or we'd like to see more of this, or change
I'm not
that?
sure. I know like
Maybe I should have C3 on at some point.
yeah.
But go ahead.
Well, like this was my 6th ACL, I think, and it was the first one working the festival. I was tour managing and doing front of house, and it was cool to see sort of the back end of the festival and seeing like all the different departments and seeing everybody working. Like it's a really well executed festival. I have you can have feelings about the festival industry and Ticketmaster and Live Nation and what's that doing to the whole ecosystem.
Well.
Yeah. However, they can really execute.
It's a
festivals,
well executed
like
festival,
on the ground, like from Frontgate doing the ticketing and C3 doing the advance and the production, and to all the providers. Like it's just it was a breeze for the artists I was working with, and so like that was a really cool thing to see. That everybody's just really operating at a high level, from the stage crews to all the back of house stuff, to the guy driving the forklift, to like everybody was
Everybody knows their
bringing
place.
their A game.
I want to add to that. I went to Afropunk in Brooklyn in August at the festival. I really enjoyed Afropunk. Conversation maybe we'll get to a little bit later, but the point I want to bring it up with is execution. A lot of things I liked about Afropunk, but their execution was poor at times. There was at one point, both days that Afropunk went on, one of the stages got behind by first like 15 minutes and then 30 minutes, and it was behind by over an hour at one point.
Wow.
And their app would tell you an artist was on, even though they weren't, because they're an hour behind. Like it was all pre-made notifications.
Right.
Oh,
So you'd be at a show, and they're like, such and such just hit the stage. You go, and there's no one on stage because it's a pre-made
Well,
notification.
these are the sort of things like
You don't get that at ACL.
Well, when you're at festivals, you have a bunch of people all trying to use their phone at the same time, and so the more mature festivals that have been around for a while in the same site, that's a thing they take into consideration. You have to design a mobile app really specifically to deal with low bandwidth situations, and like you can't just auto push out notifications. Like you can, but it's got to be able to accommodate changes, because things will happen and you'll have bad connectivity.
You probably don't want
Were
scheduling.
you involved with any of the app stuff?
No.
Okay.
I felt like that was really done very well.
Did you use
Like,
it? Did you use the app?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Did it drain your battery?
Because at ACL, the paper schedule is actually not accurate. Like they had some tweaks to the schedule and shifted some people around. And,
Really?
like,
Even
so
though,
that-
what about the one online?
the one online was good.
Like I
And
took
the
I
one
took a
on the-
picture of that and put it in my photos,
what
and
I
I
would
would
do.
just look at that.
Right. I usually grab a paper schedule because it's just easier for me to keep it in my back pocket. But yeah, I jumped on their app, and their app was pretty lightweight. It was like pretty easy to use. That's a nice thing that can make your day a lot easier.
How was so you were in VIP
I was kind of all over the place.
Yeah. We'll get to all the different
Right.
places you went at, but
Smorgasbord.
so
of wristbands.
did it make changes to the VIP compared to the previous years? And
There was. I definitely think it's worth it to get the VIP because they have special viewing areas. They have. I mean, there's just special things that you get that you don't necessarily
Sure.
get with GA, and there's
bathroom
just
stuff like that.
yeah. But at the end of the day, too. I mean, I feel like I like to kind of be up in there and not necessarily. I mean, VIP is nice. Like for Travis Scott, that was a godsend. But for other different shows, I mean, a lot of my friends didn't have the VIP access, so I would kind of pop in and pop out, and then again, because it's about the community as well and being with your friends and sharing that experience. So I mean, I would go hang out with them, or there'd be some times where I even was at the festival by myself, like to see David Byrne, and that was something that I really wanted to see. So I was there by myself and just kind of navigated up to the front. And had I done VIP, I would have been on the side stage, or and I had a lot of friends that had like Tito's access or all the different stages. For people that don't know, like Miller Lite has a side stage, Tito's Vodka has their stage, so all the different access. But I mean, you can get sucked in there. I had a friend that would text her like, where are you? Are we meeting up? And she's like, oh, I'm still in Tito's. I'm getting a massage.
I'm drunk at Tito's.
Yeah, like I'm like, where are you? This is a music festival. You can go get a massage. You can drink Tito's anywhere, and she's watching it on a screen.
Yeah.
Like, come watch it. Come watch it live.
Having access this year was nice. I didn't find myself spending a lot of time there, but because it's such a sort of longer term, like I was working both weekends, and it's nice to have a place where you can just go recharge for a second and just have like an air-conditioned bathroom for
right.
a minute,
Oh yeah.
a minute and a half.
In this heat, that was
You don't want to be
definitely-
with us peons and
Right. I can't mix with the commoners. They'll tear me to
Class
pieces.
is not the masses.
Yeah. But that was really nice, I think. But like, I don't know what the price points are for VIP, but like,
a lot.
It's like it's the bottom of four figures.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be a hard pass for me.
Yeah, that's for most people.
But it was a nice perk of.
How did you get your VIP?
Whew. Can't reveal my sources.
She
We've all
got the
been
hookup.
there.
I
She
do.
got the
I have-
hookup. She snuck in
I'm
there.
fortunate to have a lot of different friends that I've made over the years. Again, just being in music and being fortunate.
And yeah, general
to meet people.
etiquette.
So you didn't
of
stop
not-
by your
not,
way in?
Not blowing up your buddy who put you on the list. Like,
Right.
having been on both sides of that, I respect that.
Yeah.
So one thing that always strikes me when I go to ACL is, well, one, the diversity in people. There's families, there's kids, babies, teenagers, older folks, and honestly, I feel weird being around all these like 21-year-old just getting drunk, and it really. I was like, the whole time I'm like, hands up here.
How old are you?
I'm 36, fool. No, but it's. Well, I thought about it, and I was like, if you're a teenager and you live in Austin, like, what can you really do where you can go enjoy live music besides festivals like that?
I heard a lot of people mentioning how many kids there were, and I think the fact that it's like right in town.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not gonna like, as a high school kid, like drive 2 hours outside of LA and go to Coachella and like just like pop over. You know, it's like a whole ordeal. It's a whole thing. But there's a lot of kids. Like, I think Austin High School. I have a son at Austin High. They had first weekend. They had Friday and Monday off. They were like, teacher work days or something. But
good timing.
So like that was
They
the
were probably
weekend-
there too.
So that was the weekend that a lot of Austin High kids went.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
But yeah, it's also like it's pretty well run. It's pretty safe.
It's also stuff they like artists that they know.
Well,
and
yeah,
like.
they're really good at booking it. I have a friend who worked at C3, and the sort of like artist, like the talent buying department is a lot of young people, and they're really engaged. Like she said, her boss would just walk around and like tap people on the shoulder, be like, "What are you listening to right now?" And like,
Really, it's like that.
Yeah.
They're so out of touch. They ask all the
and
kids.
it's also interesting. Like, she said that her boss was like, he had a background in stock as like a stockbroker.
Yeah.
And so it's almost like you're speculating on artists. You're saying, okay,
Yeah.
well,
No, that's
if we book
accurate.
Wow.
this guy now, we can get him for 20K or whatever. But in 6 months, he has an album release. He's got a production credit on the Beyonce record. He's got and so like by the time the fest hits, like if we tried to book him then, he'd be 80K, and so we can lock him in now, and so it's sort of like this getting the best value out of like who's going to be popping when the fest is happening, because they're booking way out front. And I don't know, they have they're really good at curating, like it's really clear who they want their demographic to be. Yeah. Because it's really, they
I think I'm out of it.
Yeah, I met someone. That demographic. I actually met someone who works for C3 Frontgate. I mean, he works for the analytics team, and that was something he said. Like we were talking about Travis Scott, and again, he's a numbers kind of analytical guy. He's like, Travis Scott has had the highest trajectory, the quickest, and I mean that's his job. Like you said, to track that and to know who's going to be hot for festivals and who's going to.
Right, because like you can
talk about the music.
Right.
Yeah, you can talk all the shit you want about whoever's the new hot person, but like those are real numbers. Like that's a real thing happening that's quantifiable that they're like tapping into. It was funny. My friend Cassie was watching Borns the first weekend.
Well, first weekend.
Yeah.
First weekend they were there.
And she's like, I think I'm the oldest person at this set, and I was like, oh well, that's funny because all the olds, me and all of the olds are watching David Byrne right now. So it like that was like the perfect split of like all the young people on this side and all the old people.
We'll get to like
such a great job
when we get to the shows, we'll talk about like who was at the show and how people responded. Like I said, I saw a lot of families there, and as a new dad, I was like, babies at festivals.
Babies love Metallica.
Yeah. Babies were like getting crunk on Travis Scott and all that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like how young is too young? Because I saw some moms like in line, no stroller, nothing, holding the baby, like in the heat.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
they love music.
No, the mom loves music. Baby has no idea what's going on.
I mean, I think I probably have spoken about this like last time I was on the show, but it was like, it's like when you have kids and you bring them really anywhere, if the kids are not having a good time, no one is having a good time.
Exactly.
And so it's like how tuned in you are with what your kids are able to tolerate, what sort of situations. Like, I know even with my kids who are relatively like enthusiastic music fans and they're all about it, there's points where they're just like they're done. Or like,
Dad, this is boring music, Dad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go over there.
Like
Catch me at the bar.
We sat, right. Yeah, go to meet me in VIP. I'll be there. Yeah. But like, we sat out. I think Saturday because it was like this lineup was kind of light for stuff we wanted to see, and we were kind of wrecked from Friday. We hit it hard and watched Paul McCartney and but yeah, it's just like I mean. Whether it gets to the point of like negligence or something, if your kids are overheating or if like you're not giving them freaking earplugs because like
I saw babies no earplugs at Metallica.
No, I get really.
That is not cool. Not cool.
Yeah, that's
it's
like
weird. I think about these things now. I have to.
Yeah.
I didn't a year ago.
I saw a woman at Fun Fest, or it was a man and he had a baby and a baby Bjorn, watching Slayer.
In the mosh pit.
Well, it's not like in the mosh pit, but it's a mosh pit adjacent. And,
that was good enough.
And no earplugs. And I was like, before I could even like freak out, I was like, it was just a crowd. I was like, did that really just happen? And someone else saw it too. Like, that's a bummer.
And
so don't do that.
I wanna get into a little bit of fashion. I'm trying to move it on so we can get to the shows because that's where we're gonna have that's the meat of the show anyway. The high jean shorts. I talk about this every time we'll do ACL thing. It's not flattering. It's not hot. I was trying to count. That a couple years ago I had a little clicker and I would click every time I would see high jean shorts on teenagers, on moms. Mom were their daughters wearing the high jean shorts. And I'm by the time I was in line, by the time I got to the first stage, I already counted 125.
What?
It's crazy. So as you're a fashion, like you follow the fashion, yeah.
I do. I guess kind of.
Like what are some of the big trends that you saw?
Well, the biggest
besides the jorts.
Right. Besides the jorts. Well, it's interesting because I mean, you're wearing Aviator Nation. Aviator Nation had a huge setup there, and actually went and took a tour of their place. So they were a big sponsor of that. So I was able to.
They didn't do ACL close this year, I don't think.
I think
they had ACL close.
They did?
I think that
Yeah.
is.
Well, this is but this is 2 years ago.
Oh, gotcha. They had them this year too.
Yeah, they had ACL. So I was like, and then just the different vendors there, like Mana Culture was there, and their, jewelry, and then Kiki Nas. I work with them a lot. I wear all their clothes, but as far as like actual fashion, I feel like for women it was a lot of like girls. It was a lot of sets where they're like matching. Yeah. Lots of sets, and then I mean the staple to me. I mean flower crowns. That's not a thing anymore. But
oh really?
I did see 2 Indian headdresses.
Did you?
Which I thought was like I was like I give them an hour before someone steals those off their head.
I saw a lot of mesh. Like when I say mesh, mesh with like barely anything underneath.
I'm sitting right here.
Or nothing underneath.
I could see it underneath his pant leg. He's wearing his.
Beto shirts.
Yeah.
All over the place.
Yes.
A lot of Beto shirts.
On artists too.
Really?
Yeah, I saw. Who was it? It was. What are their names? It's like a male and female duo. Sylvan Esso.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the guy from Sylvan Esso was wearing a
Tito
Beto
stage.
shirt.
Wow, that's really cool.
Wait, no, they're on the home away. Nonetheless.
I feel like I saw a couple other artists wearing Beto stuff.
Nice.
What is the double bun? Does that have a name? Because that is like
double bun now.
Oh, I love the double
calling
bun.
it.
Like the man bun
I
wasn't
love
enough.
the double bun.
The
double
buns
bun,
were done.
like I started seeing it about 2 years ago at ACL a lot, and then it's just picked up, and this year was the first year I saw multiple artists wear it on stage.
Wait, so a bun here and a bun back
No.
here?
It's
a
like a
double
Mickey
bun.
Mouse. It's like a Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Like the
It's
girl
like-
parts
it's like
her head down the
pigtail-
middle.
It's like pigtails, but
Oh.
And it has the 2 buns. Like that was everywhere, and it's been everywhere. I feel like this year it was the most pervasive.
Feels like maybe almost like a '90s throwback thing.
Is it?
I don't
It's
know.
an easy as a female.
It's
Wait,
an
for
easy,
women?
right?
I
It's
thought
an
you were
easy
talking about
way.
dudes.
I mean,
No, women.
Oh, okay, good.
yeah, you put some dry shampoo in there and you throw it up. I mean, it's easy and it's not your
It takes your
typical
long hair
classic
out of your
ponytail.
neck. It's not as hot. Right?
Yeah, but I mean, another thing that the staple for me is bandanas. I mean, everywhere,
yeah.
girls, guys,
Well, the dust
everybody's
is so
wearing
gnarly.
the
'cause
dust,
you
but
just,
even
like,
just
hack
for
like black chunks
Oh,
out
yeah.
for like a day after a festival, and everyone's got like the fest long,
Right.
like hacking for a couple days.
Yeah.
Just like
So
I
I've
preach
bad
bandanas.
allergies. Ragweed
Oh, yeah.
always gets heavy during ACL. I bought a bunch of masks.
really.
So I'll rock those.
Like
from
those
time to time.
Japanese, those Chinese
Yeah,
ones.
and it's like
from
it's
the
like I'm
pollution.
yeah, I
Like,
totally will wear it during the day when I'm walking. When I mow from stage to stage, the most dust is kicked up there. You gotta walk through like the dust.
all the like people that are on the festival circuit working like production, like all my buddies, they all have bandanas and dust masks, and they swear by them because
Otherwise, I'm miserable at night when I try
we
to go
do
to
we
sleep.
do ACL once a year, and but when they're on the circuit doing it all year, it's like they gotta do it.
You get SARS basically.
Anything else you guys? Oh, shoe game. What do you think was like the shoe of the festival? I saw
Waterproof, mud resistant.
it wasn't that bad. I
For
don't think it
second
was-
weekend.
No,
I
I
think it
don't think it was that bad.
The last day was pretty bad.
Yeah,
But
Oh,
not
yeah.
but not like
Sunday
slip and
specific.
slide.
Oh yeah, it rained
Bad.
Saturday.
It rained Saturday
pretty
night,
good,
but
yeah.
Sunday there were like some parts that were a little muddy, but you
Right.
could walk
Nothing-
around.
right.
I saw people just going in there and just playing in the mud, like grown folks. But a lot of Converse.
Yes.
Always.
That's my staple.
Is that the
That's a
comfortable
festival.
shoe?
that is
shoe?
my
For sure.
festival shoe. 100%.
Adidas. Yeah, Adidas were pretty much everywhere. A lot of like the old school like Shelto Adidas or like the new ones, like the training ones. But yeah, definitely Converse. Converse was everywhere. Any crazy outfits besides the?
I'll throw out there. I thought a question. What about flags and things that you find other people? Like, did you see any crazy flags? Was that Andrew has a boner like promotion thing?
Yeah, that was funny.
At one point for the
Right.
Netflix
That was
show.
pretty funny because I was also flying while Sweet Spirit was playing, and so I saw an Instagram video. It was like zoomed in on the plane, and then it like panned down like right onto Andrew from Sweet Spirit.
So it's like there was a plane. There was like there's always flags and balloons and what have you. I always.
Right.
There was a year where you couldn't even see the stage because there was so many flags
Yeah,
up.
they have
So
like
did they have a policy
frustrating.
now?
well, I mean, they have like the no flag zones.
Yeah, but that's
like
not
people
enough.
don't really like.
They don't
there's-
enforce it.
Yeah,
people
they don't.
really
It's not really enforced. I think like having a picnic blanket and a bunch of chairs in the middle of a packed music festival is like the most entitled shit ever.
Yeah.
Especially
when you're like, don't step on my
if
blanket.
they get really like it's one thing. It's like, okay, I'm reading the room. The crowd is getting tough. Let's kind of get our stuff together.
Right.
But like
As
when
it
you're
gets
trying
late.
to just like get through, and you're like, oh, I see a place I can move through, and there's like a whole group of
Particularly
people
when it's
with
dark.
like. Yeah, it's dark, and there's a whole group of people with lawn chairs that are like zip tied together, like they're
Yeah.
Zip tied
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
and
they
like,
do that.
and they're like,
I think that's
excuse me,
genius.
it's just like,
Really?
it's like if I set up a picnic blanket in the middle of a shopping mall
Right.
and was like, hey, I'm trying to like,
Put like the
Right.
the yellow band like police thing
Right.
around. Like this is
Basically,
our area.
Caution.
yeah, like I understand
We have a
that's,
grill.
but it's like that's sort of like a part of the ACL culture. There's like those people buy passes every year and they get there early so they get
Yep,
their
and they
spot
sit there.
But
in
here's
the
the thing.
shade.
Like,
but
if-
like
if-
I feel like they could. I don't know. That's
They're usually not my way.
It's
I'm
tough.
somewhere between the sound booth and the stage.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Did you
But-
see? Oh,
No,
sorry,
go for
I
it.
was gonna say, did you see that baby? Did you go to David Byrne weekend too?
yeah.
There was this baby, this crying baby, that someone had, and again, there was no really totems or flags, but it like kept. This person kept like just parading this.
Like we
baby.
here.
Yeah, and it was this crying, like little squinched baby face.
Oh, it's a face. You
It
just
was a
said
face.
crying baby they're
someone-
raising in the
Oh,
air.
sorry. Like,
Yeah.
no,
Why are they raising
not
Oh, I
like
thought
Lion
you
King
made the baby
style.
in the
Sorry.
I thought you made the baby.
No, like an actual
Oh, that
like
would have been
totem.
funny as shit.
Yeah.
I mean, funny and
Yeah,
not
come-
funny, folks.
right.
Don't do that.
Right.
Don't use your baby as
New
flags.
dad.
Just get some duct
We're
tape.
over here.
Duct tape. Works
Put your
wonders.
hands up.
Get the
Yeah.
baby a
Tyler.
good view.
I actually saw David Byrne weekend 1 and then Bass, and then I saw him again weekend
Oh,
2.
wow.
I was like, it was astounding.
That's
The
I'm
incredible.
sad I missed him. I heard a lot of good
the
things.
show at
Oh,
Bass
yeah.
was in my like top 3 shows I've ever
Oh,
seen.
I can't hear
Wow.
that.
It was unreal.
Oh,
It was
it's
unreal.
amazing.
I want to get to.
Can
Okay.
I jump in something here?
Go ahead.
I guess you can't deny me now, can you?
Yeah.
Security. I just want to talk about security. Like, if you went last year versus this year, like substantial difference because it wasn't that mass shooting that was in Vegas last year before ACL.
Uh-huh.
Like security to
Oh,
get in
that's
last
right.
year, I normally have to pay for that kind of touching. Of my body.
Really?
Like they grabbed me in places I have not been grabbed in a while, and at a festival.
Want to talk about that,
was-
Nico?
Yeah. I'm already drinking. I'm gonna lean back like with therapy, but
So, tell me about.
like it was very different. So when we talk about, I always like to bring up the vice side of things in life and the underground, and so it was easier to sneak things in this year than it was last year because they weren't as
They're looking for weapons.
yeah. They were looking for weapons. I think last year they're looking for drugs every little small piece. Like they were shaking my pants to see if anything would shake
This year?
loose. That last year.
And this year you were able to.
This year they bag.
You looked a little less
And then
suspicious
kept
this
going.
year. That must be it.
I think I always probably look as suspicious. I'm a little swarthy. And yeah, it was just a lot easier security. I really appreciated that. I mean, I respect last year that they had to have the heavy security from a PR standpoint. The other festival in Vegas getting shot for the people dying. But this year, I like that they went back. I'm sure they got a lot of complaints about it.
I mean, it
I
all
think-
it all depends on who you. Like you can tell, like you're in the line, you look at who's checking the bags. If they just have
Oh,
the
yeah.
that baton in it, go, all right, cool. Or
Well,
it's
they're-
really like, all right, take everything out.
Well, it's like
Yeah.
it's I think the first last year it was right after the shooting,
Right at, yeah.
and so it was just like search the shit out of everyone,
Mhm.
and so that's what they do, and that's their policy. And I think as the years gone on, one of the Live Nation, Ticketmaster having a big reach across all these different festivals, it has some downsides for competitiveness and homogenization, but one of the things they can do is they can say like, okay, here's how we're doing festivals now, and they can push that to all the festivals at an operations level, and they can say like, they have like I work at South by, and they talk to a lot of the same people. They're consulting with Homeland Security. They're consulting with all these private consultants about crowd movements, about security, about terrorism, things like that. And so I think what I saw was a lot more targeted. Like they are looking for weapons. They have like a policy, and if they find something, they're gonna find
Right.
it. But it's like if they do a bag search, they don't need to go through every zipper pocket necessarily. It's like they're doing a threat assessment,
Right.
and that's what's. And I don't have like any specific knowledge that's what we're doing, but that's what the vibe I got was, and that
I
makes
agree.
sense. It's really like what is the problem we're trying to solve? If it was like a ultra or Electric Daisy Carnival, and like 1 year at ACL they had 10 ecstasy overdoses or something.
Oh,
Like,
no.
then the next year they're probably
They're gonna check
yeah,
everything.
Yeah, they're gonna do everything.
Right.
Yeah, it was welcome. After last year, it was a lot welcome to.
You know, I felt bad because I felt bad. I go Friday, and the security person just went, "All right, cool, go." I go Saturday, and I'm like, "Damn, I should have brought my weed." Saturday, same thing, open, boom. And I'm like, "All right, well, Sunday, I'm gonna bring it." I get to the front, and she literally pulled everything out of my bag, and she's like, "What's this?" And I'm like, it's a pipe."
My
And
medicine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna bullshit her, and she was pretty cool. She's like, "All right, well, you know, just throw it out." And I'm like, "Fuck!" So I I threw it in the trash, but she didn't check the zipper. So I had a little bit in the zipper.
Sacrificial.
But man, yeah, that's all right. But could they actually go? "Oh no, you can't get in if you have anything." I mean, weapon.
I
get
mean,
it.
I think they can deny
They have that right
They can
to do
deny
that.
you
But
entry for any reason.
Really?
I think. Yeah, I mean, it's a private. They can just be like, no, if you.
Yeah, they can refuse
like,
service.
they generally don't, but like, if it really came down to it, they could really deny you for any reason. But I think their go-to move is not like call the police. It's like you can't come in with your possessions as they are.
Okay.
And I've had friends that are just the guy's like, "Hey, if you have this, you got to either take it to your car or you can surrender it, and we'll just toss it." And I'm
Right.
like,
That's usually what it is.
I'm sure they split that later. All right. Well.
Cool. Thank you for the tangent. Just security was an important point.
Yeah. I mean, they got me.
Well, you had like the no bag line and the bag line.
That was
So
cool.
I mean, that was.
Yeah, they always.
And they have more entrances this year. Was it the same thing last year?
I don't know.
I think it was more or less the same. I always go through the back
There's like the
entrance.
two on
Yeah,
Barton
the
Springs
town
and
lake,
then,
Lady
and
Bird Lake
yeah.
is the best. That's
I
what
go to the
looking-
veterans, like
the
moped
main
side.
one, yeah, the east entrance was just bottlenecked every
Yeah, every
time. It was
time.
just, oh, that was rough.
The Barnes
And
Street-
I
the
always-
Barnes Street
Yeah.
one? Yeah. Oh.
I dictate whether I'm bringing a bag based on what time I'm getting there. So if I'm getting there before 2 o'clock, I'll take a bag because it's not that long. But if it's after 2, I'm going no bag. Because A, if I'm going after 2, I should probably be able to survive that long without a bag.
Mhm.
And B, by then the bag line is ridiculous. I'm going without a bag.
True.
Strategies next year.
Take notes, folks. All right, we're gonna move on to the meat of the festival, the shows. We're gonna go just day by day. I know you guys saw a bunch of it, and so Friday, Paul McCartney was the headliner Friday. But before we get to that, like, who did you guys see beforehand? Clarissa.
Well, I did see Paul McCartney. Odessa was headlining at the same time, so talking about like the crowd split too. I mean,
Right.
you had people that were there to see the legend. You know, those are the
Right.
living legends that you don't really get to see too much.
Are you a fan of the Beatles?
I am, and that's again, you just don't know.
I question it.
I'm not.
Oh.
I'm not. I was like, look, I don't have a list, but I'll
Right.
check it off my list saying, okay, I saw Paul McCartney.
Right. There's just something special when a whole group of people is singing "Hey Jude."
That's true. That's true.
And,
That was,
Yeah,
that was
you know,
good.
that's
that's
crowd
something
energy,
that
yeah, I
can't
love
be
That's a real
recreated.
Yeah.
life-affirming sort of.
Oh yeah. I mean, I get goosebumps thinking about
Yep.
it right now.
Yeah,
Like
100%
it was
agree.
just
It's like
yeah.
the greatest sing-along chorus.
I'm not even a big Paul
Exactly.
McCartney fan like that. I do like the Beatles though, but just it's a legend. Everybody knows the song. There's that
You
crowd
have to.
And
energy.
you're like, when's
It's
the
like
next time you're going to see him?
Right.
You're probably not.
exactly.
Probably
Probably
not.
not. I mean, he.
That's how I go now for shows.
Right.
But go ahead.
I'm trying to think of who else.
I'll throw a
saw
couple. I'll
Friday.
buy you
Go
some
ahead.
time. I got to ACL early on Friday because there's a big R&B actor like Raven Lenae, and
Oh,
so
yeah.
I went and saw her at Tito. She's playing in December with Georgia Smith, but that's sold out. I don't have a ticket.
I'm going. I have an extra one.
You have an extra?
I do.
Make it next
I'm going to that.
So Raven Lenae was pretty good. She's like a good like electro R&B, like a FKA Twigs in a way, like along that line of a song. So I went and saw her at the Tito stage, and then Bishop Briggs after that.
Uh-huh.
So Bishop
Is
Briggs
that
was
hip hop?
no.
I don't know.
wait. Let's just side tangent. What do you think that's hip hop?
Bishop Briggs? That sounds like a rapper name.
Oh yeah.
Maybe some country dude from Alabama. I don't know.
Right? So it can go multiple ways.
Yeah.
Bishop Briggs. She's
I mean,
like
there's
a
Travis Scott, Kendrick Lamar,
she's like a
Bishop
pop
Briggs.
pop R&B soul singer in a way. I mean, she
I
does
actually, so I hadn't. I second weekend I saw Bishop Briggs. And just
She's a
'cause
double
we,
Mickey
oh, yeah.
Mouse.
We were just like between things. I'm like, let's go to this set. I don't know anything about it, and we showed it. And my kids were like, oh, this is the song from the 100. This is the song from this other show. And Isaiah's like, oh, this is the song from like college football. Like there's like a theme for college football.
Yeah,
So I think
wow.
she's
By the
like,
River,
she's
something
like,
like that.
She's like super plugged in with like placements, and so
Yeah.
I think she's really like having a good. I mean that's cash money. Like people don't buy records anymore. That's like where you make your money.
No, past podcast, Tamika Jones talked about that. Like, how do you monetize your songs and put them in shows and other things? And Bishop Briggs, what I thought it was funny. She's a strong, like, soulful singer. She can hit notes for a long time, very strong, a good vocal range. But she's like young and she's running around, jumping around stage.
Oh, she was
the
all
time.
over the place. Yeah.
And so she would sing her heart out.
Is
And
it
then in
one person
between
on stage?
songs, she would talk to the crowd. I wasn't mad at it, but it's to show the energy she was putting in. Like, she was out of breath on her
Wow.
big ballads.
It's just one person like singing on stage.
I mean, she had a
Yeah.
band.
Yeah.
Well,
she had a light band.
but yeah, it's her.
it's
not
her.
Oh,
Bishop.
wow.
She
She is
is
it.
Bishop
Oh.
Briggs, yeah.
Yeah.
So Bishop is a girl.
Yes.
Bishop is a girl.
All right.
Bishop Briggs. That was
The more you
a
know.
good low. that was a smaller font.
Okay, it's a
as we
small
say.
font. It's a size 10.
Somebody I really love who I missed, but I caught like while I was on like trying to get in on Friday was Natalie Prass. She played like really early on Friday,
Yeah.
and she's like singer songwriter, but she always has like a really amazing band that has like a really good backbeat. It's like if it's like a little bit like Angel Olsen, but a little funkier. I don't know.
Okay.
It's
Mhm.
really, really,
Little
really
groovy.
good.
Did
Yep.
anyone catch Jungle?
I caught Jungle.
I've seen Jungle before. I didn't catch them at ACL.
They're just, I love them.
I think I'm good for about 15 minutes of Jungle. Like they execute really well. They sound exactly like the record, but like the record, all of their songs sound like very, very similar to me.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's fine. Like I have a lot of friends that like them, and I've really given them a shot. But I think like it's just a little bit. It's like hits the same note for the whole set. Which I mean, like I have artists that I really love who do that. But
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just seeing that, I didn't know it was that many people.
Yeah.
So
Oh
seeing,
yeah. There
when
was
you see
12,
that many
12
people,
people on stage.
come
yeah.
together and just the coordination of that.
To
I
harmonize
was-
like that.
Yeah, same like Blood Orange was Friday as well. I looked at the schedule,
Love
but
Blood
yeah,
Orange.
Blood
Oh,
Orange.
I like
Blood
Blood
Orange. Blood Orange. I got to see
One of my
him,
friends
her.
is
I
in
don't
that
know what.
group. It's
I don't know
him.
whether him. The before that, I saw Khalid.
Khalid, was that Friday?
Khalid.
Khalid.
Yeah.
Khalid.
Sorry, Khalid's the DJ.
DJ. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did anyone see NONAME?
Khalid.
I saw No Name second weekend.
No Name was pretty good.
Yeah.
Hip hop.
Tell-
female
no
hip-hop?
name.
I don't know.
No Name? You don't know No Name?
No, I don't know no name.
Dang,
I don't
you
know
were
no
dad,
name.
It
aren't
doesn't
you?
have a name.
Yeah, well, I cannot know. Yeah, it's not the name. I mean, come up with a better name and I'll come check you out. But what I like about
Yeah.
Khalid, you gotta,
Yeah,
run?
I gotta run.
All right, it's all good, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mike.
Yeah, thanks for having
Nice
me.
to meet you.
Yeah.
As always, enjoy Denzel Curry.
Oh, another Denzel Courier.
Yeah.
Is that what they call him? The Denzel Courier?
I guess so. That's like the
That
fan club.
just happened.
Have fun.
Yeah, courtesy of Micco. All right, thanks, man.
And one of our photographers is out. D.
See you, Byron. Thanks for coming. So Khalid, who's from El Paso, right? Is it-
Yes.
Yes.
And what I liked about his show,
couple Texans.
I wasn't familiar with his music. I know I seen his name around, like
Yeah,
he's like the
he's-
kid is blowing up.
Yeah.
He's like that artist.
Mm-hmm.
And what I really enjoyed about his performance, I love to see artists have fun on stage.
Right.
He was skipping left and right with the biggest smile on his face and singing along and I like to see that because you're like, here's a guy.
It's more than a job.
Yeah, exactly. And he's not afraid. He's comfortable. He's
Right.
having a good time. And you see that energy, and you can't be sitting there with your arms crossed. And I really enjoy that about him. And his music, I mean, he can sing his
He
heart
crushed
out.
it.
It's really, really good.
I saw him at ACL Live for his ACL Live taping the week, like I think it was that Wednesday before. And so, I mean, he brought me to tears because it was so powerful and the way he hits those notes and
Yeah.
those inflections. It's not like the album, because
That's what you wanted from a live show.
Right, exactly. Because on the album, and I had some people message me on Instagram about it. They're like, I had no idea that, I had never heard of this person, because he does a lot of collaborations as well.
Oh.
That's most of
But-
his songs.
Yeah, they're all collaborations. And so to see him, like you said, he had that energy, and there's something special with these ACL Live tapings that, they're being taped, and it's a real intimate audience. But I mean, he was just going up and down with those inflections.
he reminds me of Gallant a little bit. Maybe not as like because Gallant has hit those notes like really.
Gallant's
high.
more ballad.
Yeah.
A
But
little more
as far as like the hot new fresh artist, just everybody gotta check him out.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy his show.
I find it funny, Khalid, during ACL, there was young kids that were mosh pitting. During
what?
Khalid, it's like an R&B set.
Oh, I didn't-
You had to
Really?
stop it at one point. It was like, hey, man, I appreciate y'all mosh pitting, but I'm not even singing right now.
Damn, that's
Still
weird.
mosh pitting. I think it's
Did
just
not strike
young
me as-
kids on drugs. Not mad at that, but I found it amusing that they're mosh pitting to an R&B show.
But to get to Blood Orange, and I didn't know. Like honestly, after Khalid, I went to eat, and then I just walked around and tried to see what would catch my ear. And I'm like, okay, your name is Blood Orange. I'm intrigued. I want to see that.
Oh, you had never heard of Blood Orange?
No. I mean, honestly, most of the acts this year I didn't know. I mean, besides the headliners, even Travis Scott, I'm not familiar with his music
Send
at
you
all.
my playlist.
Nah, it's all right. Like I don't like to do that. I just go and then I walk around and I go.
No, that's good though.
Yeah,
That
that's
you
good.
can walk around and
Yeah.
discover and enjoy.
Exactly. That's how I found out about Lettuce the first time I went.
years ago. Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, I got to see them again. And I saw them in February
Just
at
more
Stubbs.
organic than
Exactly.
having a
I don't have a
pre.
plan to
Organic
just walk
lettuce.
Trader Joe's.
Please, and
I got you. I got
you're
you.
so glad someone's approving of your jokes, aren't you? Oh my God.
You're now
Stop it.
outnumbered.
I
Clarissa,
can't help it.
stop
I told you.
Stop it.
Get me going.
Ugh. Man, I've missed this. So, Blood Orange, great presentation, great show. The thing that threw me off was the visuals.
Oh.
They were showing stuff that had nothing to do with his music. Like, remember the Rough Riders footage? Like a bunch of people on quads.
on the four-wheeler.
Yeah, that's what I was showing during Blood Orange the entire
That does
time.
not go with his
Or
show.
a
It's
music
groovy.
video, but not by him. Of someone
See,
else.
I didn't see. Yeah, I was in Miller Lite
Kitchen out of
doing
it.
that whole, but I ended up coming out, but I didn't see the visuals.
I mean,
So
they were
I
showing.
saw the side of it.
They
so
were
yeah,
showing.
That's interesting.
They were showing clips of a movie with Bow Wow in it,
What?
and it wasn't. Listen, it wasn't even.
Bow Wow
like,
or Lil Bow Wow?
No, Bow Wow.
Ooh.
Bow Wow.
Bow Wow.
Bow Wow. The actor Bow Wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, little bit.
Yeah, the actor, quote unquote. No, but it was. And the thing is, it wasn't even on the entire screen. They had it like image on an image. So the background, the big image was the Rough Riders footage of guys on motorcycles and doing wheelies and stuff. And then on the corner is the R&B video. And then on the other side is a Bow Wow, a movie with Bow Wow. While Blood Orange is on stage. I'm like, who's smoking in the visuals
Wow, I
department?
want to know. Yeah, I'm curious now.
That
how
was weird, and
ties in because did that distract you?
Yes.
Pro-
Because I mean, honestly, it was like watching the chive while these
Oh,
people on
right.
stage.
Oh,
Seriously.
Yeah.
And after that, every show I went to, I paid attention to the visuals and what was shown
It's
on
important
stage.
production.
It is. But I think they told it. I mean, I don't know how it was the first weekend, but when I went on Friday, that was like, no, that doesn't make sense.
yeah.
We're Blood Orange. They're one of their things is being weird. Like that they actually.
You look like Nate Dogg. They had like the bandana backwards.
That's part of his style. I have a status drop time. I have a very good friend of mine who went to UT, Michelle Avarain is her artist name, who sings for Blood Orange. She's one of their singers, and I followed them for a while. As a result, again, the status drop, small tangent.
Mhm.
That being said,
Status drop.
they thrive on the oddness and weirdness. That's Blood Orange. Like they did that intentionally. That was for sure. It wasn't random.
Really, the Bow Wow.
They want you to. They just want to disconnect you from.
I mean, they
your
might as well
normal
also
thoughts.
fail videos.
I'm not gonna say that it was successful in you or not, but their point is they just want you to have that disconnect of some. They actually are going for that,
Interesting.
for better, for worse.
For worse.
I know what I'm YouTubing tonight. I want to go see that. I love to learn that stuff, like the backstory.
That was just weird.
That is.
Yeah.
Well, let's get so Friday. Do you see anybody else like at
I
night?
need to grab my. I have my schedule in my purse.
Go off
Oh,
stage
you're
for a second.
not
I can
prepared?
talk to you. I
How
can talk
dare
to you.
you?
Is there
We can
any
talk.
way you could grab? Yeah.
So
have my-
I'll talk with them as that's happening. So I have my schedule up right here.
I know, I have
Brockhampton.
mine.
Have y'all heard of Brockhampton before?
Yes.
Rappers, right?
So yeah.
Did
so
not get
See,
to see.
Brockhampton,
Thank you.
Bishop Briggs. Which one's the rapper?
Fair. So Brockhampton, I believe they're from the UK,
Really?
and they are a boy band rappers. rappers, right?
What's the
So
boy band rapper?
It's all guys. They're like older boys, young men.
But are they like Ray Murd guys?
Are they what? Wait, oh,
I
no,
can
no,
say
no,
that.
they're not
I can
mumble
say
rap.
that the name of that.
Ray Sherman?
Yeah, ear drummers backwards.
Yes. No, they're not that. I mean, they had a clear articulated lyrics, but in the end, they were in sync for hip hop.
But was it Hamana?
No, it was no. You can understand it. They were.
Oh, okay, cool.
It was
Hamana
actually
hip-hop. Good.
It was good, but it's not my thing. Like if I was a 18-year-old teeny bopper girl and at Brockhampton,
Are they hot too?
I would love it.
So they're a boys band, so they're hot too. I mean, is that part of the
Man,
appeal?
That boy's chili bowl cut was so hot back. I'm just saying.
I know you were up there. You
But
grabbed the
that being
baby
said-
and you went like this.
I know.
That's
was me.
part of the curators, right? So Brockhampton, they're an up and coming. They're kind of hot in terms of their shows coming out, and like they have a high energy set. It was, I thought they're pretty. I thought they had a sub headliner set right there right before the headliner.
Oh.
So that's a high set I thought for Brockhampton, but God, the kids love it. I didn't realize how much kids love it. Like it's funny going to ACL and realizing. I've kind of heard of that group, and then all the kids know all the songs. I'm like, oh, okay, they're actually are a big deal.
So it's interesting.
That's why they have 60 million spins. Like, I thought they had 1 million at best. Brockhampton was another one.
I want to get to Paul before I get to Paul McCartney. So on Friday, I was there when Paul McCartney came on, and I was like, I don't know most Beatles songs. You know, I can't say that I'm like hardcore Beatles fan. I just wanted to see the guy.
In French.
And nothing to do with French. It's just me.
Right.
Whatever. The French people they love the Beatles. Oh baby, I love you, baby. they love it. They love the Beatles. Hey Jude, et tout ça. So
together.
we come together. I come together. I like Let It Be. Let It Be. It's very good. Let It Be. But anyway, and I stayed for like 15 minutes, and then there was that silent disco thing.
Oh.
At the Tito's tent, and I'm like, I'm gonna go check it out. I'm curious. First of all, what kind of shit they're playing. It was put on by Quiet Events, who put on all these silent disco parties in Austin at the North Door usually. It's like, all right, I'm just curious.
Was that their first year with that silent disco? I don't remember it last year, but
I think
They've
so.
had silent disco.
They
they
had?
did before.
Yeah, they had it
it's-
last year. Because I had friends that were like, they did it last year, and they were like, we have to do this year. But
So-
I didn't
I'm
get
live
to.
music
I didn't get
fanatic.
to do it.
I'm
I
not
know.
gonna do it.
I wanted to,
I
but
went
I
for the
didn't
story.
get the chance.
Okay.
I went for the story.
Go on,
I
reporter.
like your style.
So
do the same.
the line was from the Tito stand all the way to where the food is.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not waiting in that freaking line. So I walked up to a couple of people and I said, are you guys together? And the girl goes, no, we're not together. Like she thought I meant they were dating.
Oh.
And I said, look, I don't care.
Poor guy.
Yeah, the guy,
It's actually like, okay.
I can't block him. I
newsflash
just
for
called
me.
him out.
You know?
And so she's like, no, we're not together. I'm like, no. I mean, oh, you guys stand in line together. And like, yeah, and they were right by like the entrance. I'm like, look, I'll give you $10. We're gonna go in with you. Give him $10.
Every day I'm hustling.
Hell yeah, I'm not in that fucking line. No way.
Exactly.
And it was worse. The Saturday, the line was even longer.
I believe they canceled. Oh no.
No,
First
they had it
weekend they
Saturday.
canceled Saturday.
Did they?
This time
First weekend, yeah. It was like a mob.
Really?
Yeah, they canceled.
People just rushed
Saturday.
the tent.
I wasn't there. I was watching
Wow,
the
that's
Allegedly.
a story.
Yeah, I didn't hear
But
that.
I'm in there. So 3 DJs, 3 colors, typical sound disco thing. And what struck me is that they were playing all these older songs, and in there it's mostly teenagers, not 20s.
Really?
I'm talking like 16, maybe 16 to 21, most of them.
Huh.
And DJs is putting on like Spice Girls, and they're all singing.
What?
They're all saying, "I really, really want, what I really, really want," all the words, and then, "Oh, Mickey, you're so fine," all the words. All these old like Get Low. So funny story.
Thank you, internet. That's
Yes,
what
exactly.
caused that.
And I'm like, you guys were not even born when this shit came out,
Yeah.
and you're singing it like you were there.
Wow.
They
And
have full access to
I
it
was
all.
there like, dad. I was like
Observing.
No,
Yeah.
but the fun part is when they all go in unison,
Oh,
and
no.
our foot is
Oh, no.
through the window,
I knew that's what you
to
were
the
gonna say.
wall.
Back
Oh.
post about this on Facebook.
To sweat drip down my balls. I'm like, what are you talking about,
It's
young
like
lady?
that Chris Rock where he's like, till the sweat drip
Down my balls.
balls.
Skeet, skeet, skeet.
Yeah.
I even chew my arm. She
Oh.
was thinking about balls. But anyway, and then
I think I saw that on your Facebook page, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, or Instagram.
I posted that, and then LMFAO, shot. I'm like, you're 16. Why are you screaming about shots?
But see, I feel like too when you're young, you don't even know. I remember like Too Close Next was one of my favorite songs as a kid.
Oh, really?
I had no idea.
Kinda rapey
Baby,
a little
when
bit.
we're grinding. And I had no idea that was.
It's kinda rapey.
I didn't know what I
So
was
they get
singing.
Me Too today.
So they didn't. Yeah, they
Yeah,
didn't
it would get
know.
me too. They would get me too.
Yeah. So you
No,
know.
but it was interesting, and as always at every silent disco, it's like you take the headphones off, and that's where the show is.
Oh. Yes.
And
Yeah,
seriously,
watch it.
you could tell, and when a song would come on, and everybody would start singing it, like from the beginning of it,
Oh my
and
goodness.
everybody would tune in, and more people singing it.
So were people more inclined to one DJ?
No,
like more style?
it jumped
They were
around.
all over?
There's
Okay.
one DJ who kept playing the humana. I don't think that most people tune into that, but I mean, it is a competition between the DJs because they're like,
Right.
oh,
They
I'm
look at the
green.
color.
Right.
I want everybody to turn on green.
Humana is translation for.
Humana,
Humble rap.
Humana,
Okay.
Racial
Humana,
rap.
Humana,
Okay.
Humana.
Got it.
That's
I
Humana.
wasn't sure if that Humana was like house music or if it was
No, it's hip hop.
Yeah,
Got it.
they could be both.
It could-
interchangeable.
It could, but yeah, I was amazed at that. I'm like,
Wow.
these kids are like, they know their stuff, and they were singing every word, and I like the energy. And I'm like, oh, I got sweaty in there. It was good to experience that with like that younger generation. And I was in the back chilling and catching videos.
Videos we saw. I think that's
I got
great,
more. I
honestly.
got more I can get.
I think that's great. I think the accessibility to music is not like our generation when we grew up, or at least this side. You might have came a little after that where you had more access. Maybe no.
Maybe.
You didn't use Napster.
I did use Napster.
Oh, she said earlier she didn't. Oh.
See, now I'm gonna get okay. Here we go.
Ooh, busted.
No, but that being
Ooh.
said,
I gotta
it's
go in
access to
10
music,
minutes.
right? So streaming services, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, Google.
But who's googling Spice Girls
No.
and know all the words?
No. It's,
And Ace
it's
of Base.
How many views does it have? Like, a lot of this has to do with trends and what's
Oh,
popular.
yeah.
And
Look,
I'm
if
looking at
Ace
what
of Base
people
comes on my
listen to.
YouTube like homepage, I
Yeah,
have
but,
to ask myself the
motherfuckers
question.
want to be hipster. Like, I know that shit.
That's true.
I was there.
Oh, I'm
or
cool.
I know
well,
that.
their
old
parents
music.
too. I mean, that's the
Their
generation
parents are
now.
pushing
The
that
parents
now.
are listening to it.
I didn't hear a single Michael, a single Prince, a
Really?
single Motown, a single funk,
Oh,
because it was
disturbing.
all like it was pop stuff. for
Well,
the
the
most
old
part.
school now is the 90s and early 2000s.
But
No,
you're
but
also
even
at
that-
a silent
yeah, well-
disco, and it's intended to get you
Oh,
dancing.
Yeah, more.
They
yeah.
played what's the Florida.
That. Why you bring that up?
No, I mean it's still it's
that era.
It's,
It's
yeah, it's that
apple-bottom
era.
jeans?
Yeah, apple bottom jeans, the boots with the fur. Yeah,
Oh,
they
yeah.
were all. Oh my god. But anyway,
Because
this
then
is
that's
it's a
nostalgia,
classic.
right? So if I'm 20,
nostalgic
like that
from
song,
when
yeah,
they were 5.
well,
For them.
that shows like that song is probably like 8 to 10 years old, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not even that old. But think about the songs that you knew in middle school. Like, you didn't have anything else to do but listen to music over and over again.
Yeah.
You had those songs
Here's your
memorized.
tapes, yeah.
That was them.
I was like,
they had those songs
Clan
memorized.
ain't nothing to fuck with.
They had they knew 5 songs in a whole year, and they had those songs memorized from note to note. And
That's
Remember
true.
the CDs? I mean, we would have the album covers. Like, I would read the album covers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Learn
And
the
that's it. Who's
lyrics.
featuring who?
Yeah.
And then from that you go and buy
You
that
go
dude's
and-
album.
Exactly.
All right, let's get to Paul McCartney. We got a lot to cover here. It's almost a bit. It's been an hour almost.
Oh, wow.
So Paul McCartney.
We'll cover Paul McCartney since clearly you weren't there.
No, I went back.
Ah,
You did go back.
Yeah, I
So
did go
the-
back
my
because I
fa-
wanted to see.
Because you're back, and that's what you do.
Oh no! Shut up!
Throw it back. Throw it.
Don't you start, lady. Don't you start with me.
Sorry. He's teed it up. I had to hit it.
No. It's been an hour. We still got more talking to do, so please.
Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartney.
So I am not a giant fan of Paul McCartney. I do like the Beatles. I don't love the Beatles, but I mean, I love live music as we all do. Like, I respect artists and how good you are at your vertical, whatever it is.
Mhm.
And I would definitely want to go see the Legend. I thought his show in the beginning was great. Like, he started off with energy because knowing he's a performer, you know it's gonna be good.
Right.
with
He's
someone
been
like
doing
Paul
it for a
McCartney.
minute too.
Right.
And so at the beginning, I thought it was good energy. I liked it, and then in the middle, it was kind of slow and shit I didn't know that well, and some new shit. And
Right.
What was our new song?
His new-
Hey, shut up.
But that's what you do as an artist. Like you sandwich it, right?
Right.
That's philosophy. That's sociology.
Nobody wants to hear new.
A good
Paul
thing at the beginning, a
McCartney.
good thing at the end, and the shit people don't really know in the middle.
Like,
That's
does he
what
have a
happened.
project right now that he's dropping?
Yeah,
I think
the
he has
newest
brand
one,
new
but it's
music,
not.
yeah.
No, he does. He has an album out.
He has
Yeah.
a new song
Yeah, brand
that he
new.
played, but it's
I
something.
mean, it's, I'm not a,
So-
well, I'm not a
It
fan of his
didn't
music from
land
the
very
beginning.
well because again, I mean, you're comparing everything to some of the greatest songs of all
Right,
time, so it's
right.
You're right.
a very high kind of thing to overcome as well. My favorite part about the whole Paul McCartney set was his stories.
Oh,
in
that's
between.
really what I went there for.
Oh my goodness! Like
I didn't
his
hear that.
You
stories.
would talk about a song and be like,
I was
well,
thinking
Yes.
about balls at the.
Yeah, you were filming 12-year-olds.
Yeah, yeah. Whoa! Hey! Do not isolate this clip, folks.
Filming children
Sorry.
talking about balls.
I'm about to get
Way to
me
be
too.
bad.
Worse.
I had to get you back for that Napster comment.
It's all right. It's all right.
But yeah, his
That was-
stories were incredible, and that was the part that I told everybody. Like, you have to
Right.
hear these stories. Like, make sure you listen
In between the songs.
In between, because these are things that only a Beatle person can tell you. There's not something that, I mean, just from, he said a story about just how, you know, when they made their first album and it cost £5. Again,
£5?
these are like ingrained in
Or their
my-
first album
for
they
English.
made that wasn't even really released. Like, he was
Yeah,
talking about
yeah,
the
yeah.
whole
It was
story.
£5, and I mean, they each paid £1, you know, to
Yeah.
produce it, and then they each took a week with it, and then the last person obviously kept it for the longest,
Mhm.
and then he said that he bought it from that person for a substantial profit.
Like 15 years later.
Yeah,
Wow.
so that one, and then the other story I really liked. I mean, he had a great the Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton story.
Those are
It
great.
was incredible. Jimi Hendrix was trying to cover one of their songs and was just completely out of tune on his guitar and was like, Eric, are you out there?
Well, here's what it is. Like, he
Yeah.
did the first song. Like, Jimi Hendrix, like, really hits that, I'm not a guitarist, but the hammer thing that they do on the guitar. And he put it out of tune playing, because he was playing Jimi Hendrix style. Like,
To the Beatles
Yeah.
song that they had
like
just released.
they just dropped on Friday.
Right.
He played a show on Sunday. He had already learned their entire Beatles song they just released, and then played his version of it with
Oh, wow.
like going crazy
That's
on the
dope.
guitar.
That's
But
dope.
after you played that version of it, he opened with it. After he did that, he fucked up his guitar, and it was all out of tune, which
Right.
which Clarissa was saying. And she's like, "Hey," he was looking in the crowd, and he saw Eric Clapton. He was like, "Hey, Eric, can you come and tune my guitar? I just fucked it up doing this Beatles song." And Eric was like, "Pass."
You're on your own.
Nice.
Is what he told him. So I mean, that's a story
That is-
that,
that-
again,
that
that
is
Paul
great. That is great.
standing there with Eric Clapton watching Jimi Hendrix cover one of his songs. Just, I mean, again, goosebumps. Like
Yeah,
those
agreed,
stories were
agreed.
so fantastic.
That was the best part.
Yeah,
That was
and that's the
best
part I told all my friends. I'm like, because again, like I had friends that would go to Odessa, and again, I love Odessa.
I love Odessa too.
I've
but
seen them 8
I've
times
seen them too.
in the year, and so I mean, my friends make fun of me because I'm just this huge Odessa fan. But to not be there for the full Paul McCartney experience, to hear those again, I was just posted up for it, listened to it, and left just euphoric from experiencing that.
Wow. Well, I came back when Let It Be started,
Oh yeah.
and then Live or Let Die is when he had all the
Yeah.
You
fireworks.
came
and
back at a
stuff.
good time. So you
Yeah.
get there after the
You know,
lull,
the
all the new
fireworks.
songs, and
Yeah. Because I was like, I don't
You
know
missed-
all this
yeah.
stuff. I missed Come Together. Did you do that one? I don't know if you did it. 'Cause
I don't
wasn't
think you
there.
did it.
You
I
didn't do
hear
it?
I don't think so.
Oh, cool. I didn't miss it.
Yeah, I was disappointed.
That's the song I found out through Michael Jackson at the end of Moonwalker. I'm like, yeah, it's Michael Jackson's song. Like, no,
No.
he bought the rights to do that song on Moonwalker. It's the Beatles song. All right, cool. Shout out to the Beatles. And then, of course, Hey Jude.
Right.
At the end, that was
Yep.
obvious.
Oh, that was
I like
beautiful.
when he got every time you have the artist goes, all right, all the ladies only, and then
I
all
love
the
that.
dudes. And when the dudes went up, he would make all these like gestures on stage. Like when the dudes, he would go like some like the flex, and if it's the girls, he was like, it was kind of cool. It was cool.
Can
I
you do
thought
that for me one more time?
Please. Oh yes, dudes.
that was
dudes.
him doing it.
Not dudes, not dudes.
Not dudes.
He was flexing.
That's gonna happen for the rest of the show.
Dudes.
I want to add to Paul McCartney. One of the things that's from a formatting and production standpoint of ACL. So last year, Chance the Rapper, Jay-Z, like I saw them. Like I love Chance.
Chance is great.
I love Jay-Z. I don't like him live. They all ended early.
Yes.
Like Chance ended
Oh.
15, 20 minutes early. Jay-Z ended like 20 minutes early. And Paul McCartney ended 5 minutes late.
It was a 2-hour show, right?
It was a 2.5 hour show, my friend.
Damn.
Normally the headliner ACL, the main stage starts at 8:30 and goes to 10, hour and a half.
Yeah.
Paul McCartney started at 7:30. Metallica the next day also broke that rule.
Yeah, that's true.
8.
We'll get to Metallica.
So I mean, I really appreciate that. Like, you gave the people there a full fucking show, and you went overtime, which technically ACL can get fined at. Because you're gonna have music after 10 o'clock in the park.
Yeah.
But they totally looked 10:05.
That's great.
When he ended it.
Yeah, Travis Scott ended like 15 minutes early on Sunday.
Ooh. The second weekend?
Yeah.
Hip hop R&B, you're giving us a bad name.
Yeah, what are you gonna do with hip hop? All right, let's move on to Saturday. We talked about Blood Orange. I think that was Saturday.
Moving to Saturday.
Or Friday was. Yeah.
So second weekend, I think Blood Orange was
David
Saturday.
Byrne. We didn't even talk about David Byrne.
Yeah, so I heard a lot about him. I don't know him.
Right. Well,
So
I was
what's
actually,
the
I know,
big
and
deal?
this actually sounds bad too, but one of my friends actually introduced, again, he's a huge Talking Heads fan and introduced me to, he's like, you have to see David Byrne, like, and he's really kind of like opened up my eyes to some icons that maybe I just, again, that's the beauty of music, is we all have our own narrative, we all have our own stories, and, you know, so that's the biggest part about music that I love, is being introduced to new artists and new people, and David Byrne by far is not a new artist, but he actually, I mean, he had this, they were all wearing the gray suits. I don't know if y'all saw the videos of gray suits in this like 100-degree weather. You know, it was hot, it was humid.
Blues Brothers-esque.
Yeah, and I mean, he had just this full band that he actually, and to prove, and he did this the second week, and apparently he didn't do it the first weekend because I was talking to some people there, but they each had, like, he had the drums, and they had some, you know, the guitarist, and they had just all a full, I think it was like 12-piece band or something like that.
Wow, impressive.
And, you know, but they're all doing like marching band kind of style, like in unison, dancing and
choreographed.
Yeah. And so again, like I said, seeing them the second week, he's like, you know, a lot of people think that we are playing on top of a track. And he's like, I want y'all all to know, like, I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna introduce every single person in the band, but also while I'm doing that, they're each we're gonna build the song, so you get to see us build
Harry the Invisible style.
Fantastic.
Yes, and it was incredible. Again, to see, he's like, no, this is just how great the band is and how great everyone is, and it was. I mean, that was, if I could be in any band, that would have been it.
Oh yeah.
Just the way you're having so.
Shout out to.
They were all wireless.
Yeah, they were all having so much fun up there.
Portugal the Man.
Well,
is
you
a
were
shout
there?
to that. Metallica is a shout to
Check
that.
out the second music.
Yeah.
You wanna come grab a
I
mic?
saw on the second weekend.
Jump on in. Come in here, Alex.
Alex in the house, ladies and gentlemen.
A new challenger appeared.
This one.
That one, yeah.
This one here?
The green one,
So
yeah.
we on Saturday ACL now. Or was David Byrne Friday or
He
Saturday?
was Friday.
Okay.
Oh.
But
Well,
I only saw
Saturday
him
now.
weekend too as well.
Yeah, I
Same.
snuck away and watched that second weekend of ACL. That was cool. I mean, I grew up in the '80s. I was born early '80s, but I grew up with 3 older brothers, so '80s music was
You had a good range.
was my jam. So I liked the Talking Heads, and I was like, oh, David Byrne's playing. I'm gonna go check it out because everybody was talking about it from the first week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably the most talked about show that I had heard.
Right.
Yeah.
as
No,
well.
yeah.
So I
Did
was
he
like,
do
I
like
have
an
to
intimate
see.
show, like a late show on the
He
first
did on
weekend?
Wednesday. He played
He did a bass.
A bass, okay.
That's what Mike was talking about. He
But
says one
those
of the best
tickets
shows
were-
he's ever seen, and Mike has seen as many shows, if not more
I
than
could
I
see
have.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of people talking about David Byrne. I mean, even so, I was working. So, backstory: I was working one of the bars. I was actually the bar just to the stage left of Honda stage.
Got it.
So I got to see all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, there was people from that I was working with, people that came up to our bar. They were talking about that David Byrne set
it's
afterwards.
incredible.
They were just blown away. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of those people were. Oh, I'm a Talking Heads fan. I got to see the guy from Talking Heads, and they came away like, wow, I got to see David Byrne.
Yeah.
Did you see
I
Talking
think it
Heads? You
became
said,
like a
like,
total-
I saw David
Right.
Byrne.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had made friends that were just getting there. I was like, I'm at David Byrne. They're like, who's that? I was like, just come, just watch it. You just have to see it.
See, I like that. When people start asking too many questions, you gotta be like,
Just
look,
trust
man,
me.
My
just
friends,
trust me.
I have some friends that are like, it's funny because my go-to like partner in crime friend, she knows music, but she's not as into it, obviously, and obsessed with it as I am. So she's like the perfect +1 because she's just down for a good time.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
good.
she's my heater. Like we just have so much fun together, and she knows, she trusts me, and you know, she's.
Yeah, if they
sees
go,
all that.
well, no, I'm gonna go stand in line for Salt Lake. I'm like, motherfucker, just come with me.
Just come.
Just
You're
come.
talking about Franklin.
Austin Pizza
You're
Rolls.
talking about Franklin's. People
Austin
waiting in line
Pizza
for
Rolls.
Franklin's barbecue.
Franklin was there. I didn't even see
No,
him.
Franklin's barbecue. There
Oh.
No,
He's
like,
totally
at
that
the festival.
I'm hungry, so I'm.
I saw. So after Blood Orange, I waited for Lil Wayne.
Oh.
By the way, did anybody
Right,
see
We're
Nelly?
moving Saturday. This is Saturday.
This
That
is
was weekend
Saturday.
too, though.
Okay.
This is
We're
Saturday.
on,
We're
yeah.
jumping to the headline on Saturday.
Did anybody see Nelly the first weekend?
No,
No, that would have been fun.
I heard him, but
I heard him, but I just kept
yeah, we all heard him. At some point in our life.
I heard as I was walking by, it wasn't even his song that was playing. They were just trying to hype up the crowd. It was in the middle of his set, and I was like, I'm walking to Metallica. I'm good.
When people
So-
were talking about
we went
Nelly,
weekend 1, right? For
I went
Metallica?
weekend 1.
Okay. So I heard about the audio for that, and that's why.
it was bad.
Yeah. So I heard
For-
the speaker went out
Metallica.
for Metallica.
Oh, was it?
If you were behind a certain threshold where the speakers were, it sounded awful. So anyone, and I feel unfortunate for those
That
artists because
sucks.
anyone who was playing at that stage then kind of was like, oh,
Yeah,
their
it was
set
so
wasn't
main,
good.
yeah,
Oh,
main
that's a-
stage. I think
It's
Miller
main
had that
stage.
issue too.
Yeah,
Main stage, that second row of speakers. If you were behind those, like if you were on that hill, you were not getting a good Metallica
So
sound. Like, it
lesson
was
to
going in
y'all:
and out,
be
in and out,
between
in
the
and out.
sound booth and the stage.
You always want to
That's
be
where I
by the
was, and
sound
I-
stage.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you
You
didn't
already
have
got
that.
to
So if you were
hear it all.
behind
It was
that,
amazing.
because I heard that like people were like, and again, when you're trying to see multiple acts, and if you show
Yeah,
up
trying
late,
to get in and out. That's
yeah.
Well, here's some strategy, and this tangents a little bit, but there's always room in front of the sound stage. As long as you're not going with 5, 10 different people, if it's like 2 or 3 people, go. Just keep moving. Get to the front, past the no chair zone. There's always
Yeah,
room.
more times than
Always
not in
room.
festivals, if you just say excuse me, somebody's
to
gonna get
them.
out of your way.
That's
Whether you're
true.
leaving or going in.
But then
as
you
long
got
as-
20
long as-
people behind you.
Woo. Yeah.
Well, no,
if
here-
you have a soul train.
No, it's
behind you,
just people
yeah.
following. As soon as someone like finds a path,
Oh, that's true.
and
That's
then
true.
you got
Well, yeah,
there's
yeah,
20
yeah.
people who are gonna follow.
Oh,
Like I
here's-
was in the middle of a conversation with a friend, and they just walked like literally just in between us. I went like this and just like walked.
Oh man.
Walking between. It wasn't one person. It was 15 of these motherfuckers.
Because they're
that
all
walked
following.
by.
It was like
Yeah.
5,
Yeah.
3 different
Yeah.
groups.
See,
So
I'm like,
pro
you
tip,
guys go around.
I-
do
sometimes I
not
just
mess
wanna go-
around when it
I'm
comes
the,
to
put
I'm
my
the
head
space
out.
hoarder. If I'm with a
We
bunch
get
of people
big.
and then one of my
Yeah.
somebody in my little group breaks,
Uh-huh.
I'm like no.
bring it in.
Bring it in.
Yeah.
We're gonna make people walk around us.
I'm
Yeah,
big
I-
on that. Like
I
once
don't
you
like
see
that
one
shit.
excuse me, I'm like, you're go around. Like,
So
I-
here's a good festival etiquette.
Bring
The
a
way-
blanket.
the-
Bring a chair.
Fuck.
bring
No,
some police tape.
Yeah,
Zip
zip
tie them
ties.
together.
So what you do is you get it's think of the stage. You got to get in as deep as you can and then come back out at an angle.
Right.
So I go all the way as close as I can to the stage and then come up and in, because as I'm coming up, I'm looking at people in the face. I'm like, hey, excuse me. And then I go to the next person. I'm going behind them, like I'm going at an angle.
People are
Hey,
usually
Oh.
typically
Like,
pretty
you
nice
need
when
to,
you're
you need to
leaving.
catch their eye and
'cause
talk
they're
to
like,
them.
oh, they're
If you're
getting
coming
out.
from behind them, they're like, fuck you.
Yeah, that's
But if
true.
you're coming from in front of them, they're like, oh, you're
I
moving
see
behind
you.
me.
I'm gonna go right there.
You're moving behind me. You're not a problem to me. And I always say, I'm moving. I'm not standing in front of you. I'm gonna keep moving.
Yeah,
People
because you have the
always
people who
find
just like come up to find a spot right in front of you, post up, and they're like 6'2".
that sucks. Yeah.
Yes.
It's a good thing I'm 6'3". It doesn't bother me as much. But
Yeah,
I
whatever.
understand for you.
We did a whole show about like tips on live music.
That was just a little preview of
But
that.
before we get to
That's-
Metallica, Lil Wayne.
That was weekend
came
two,
on-
right?
weekend 2 Saturday. So I don't think I've ever seen him live, but great show. One thing I love about, especially when rappers do it, so usually singer songwriter, they come up, they thank the crowd, all that stuff. Lil Wayne came on with like snow boots and whatever the fuck he was wearing, and he started saying 3 things I want to tell everybody. One, I wouldn't be shit without you. He said that like 3 times, like stuff like that. I think, especially for
Professionalism.
rappers
Oh, yeah.
who usually have egos and
Egos,
stuff,
yeah.
just come out and start rapping and I'm like, motherfucker, no.
Or insult your audience.
Yeah.
Why don't you have that energy?
Yeah, like
That's your
I
fault.
can't stand that.
Oh.
And rappers are notorious for that shit.
That's true.
But Lil Wayne came out very humble. He's like, look, man. I mean, of course, my album just dropped. The Carter 5 just
Well,
dropped.
he was a late add-on too.
Yeah.
He was a last minute.
And thanking the crowd, that was great. But same thing, like I mean, he did all of his hits, and I'm standing there. And first of all, I walk up. I'm like maybe 10 feet away from this the sound man, and I'm in the back. By the time he came on, I'm in the middle, because it just backed up behind me.
Wow.
And I'm surrounded by bros, like college frat bros, who are singing along
I was
to
gonna-
every Lil Wayne lyric.
Hmm.
And here I am, just standing
I
there
know where you're
and
going with this.
yeah, N-word this, N-word that, nigga this, nigga. And you know what? I made eye contact with a
Yikes.
couple of them. It's just a practical joke. I love to do that. If you're black and you're in the crowd, do that. It's hilarious. You just stand there and you wait for them to say it, and then you just look at them and don't move. And they're like, "Oh, my bad, dog. My bad. You know, it's in the lyrics, man. It's in the lyrics." I'm like, and I just smile. I'm like, I don't give a shit, really. But they were really like going at it with the N word.
In the end, I blame the artist. Like, if you don't want them singing it, it's in your lyrics. And I come from weird space. This is the whole tangent.
But you know, when most of the rap audience is now, you know, suburban white kids, you know, that's what they want to hear.
Lil Wayne and ACL, that's what you're gonna get.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I knew that was gonna happen.
Right.
I just pranked everybody around me. that was
For your entertainment. That was just for your
I was
own
just say
entertainment.
there was one kid, seriously, he didn't look a day older than 18. He was high as fuck. And all he was doing was, he wasn't even looking at the stage, he was like facing
back.
us and just like hopping around. Nigga.
I don't think high is, I mean, high on what?
Probably high. I don't know. I don't know. But all of his
me.
bro friends were like, yeah, dog. I'm like, man. It was just funny. Anyway, but overall,
hot button issue right there.
yeah.
Yeah, I want to
Loaded
give a
topic.
quick shout out to a couple Saturday shows that I really liked. Jackie Vincent, friend of the
Shout
show.
out to Jackie, friend of the show. Please check
Saturday
out our
at Tito's.
episode.
She had a great fucking set at Tito's, and I love that Austin brings the local acts early. So I just want to give her a shout out. Mon Laferte.
Mon what?
Mon Laferte.
Is that French?
No, it's Spanish.
No,
It's
from
Mexican.
Chile.
Yeah, sorry, Chile. Oh my god, I didn't realize I knew her songs.
Doing a commercial or something?
No, I mean I listened to a wide range.
Oh, okay.
Like, but I didn't. I was there and I was walking by and I heard a song I recognized. Like, wait, I know that song. And I went, oh my god, I love that shit. She was on my list, and I realized I knew her songs and it was a great set.
Yeah, it was an amazing set.
yeah.
They started out with actually they covered a Willie Colon song, La Murga.
wow.
One of my favorite
I missed
Willie Colon
that.
songs.
I
It was
kinda-
how they opened up, and I was working that bar tent right next to
yeah.
it, and all of a sudden it popped up, and I was like, oh, salsa music.
Yeah.
I perked up. You know, I'm Puerto Rican, so I'm just like, yeah, salsa music. I'm good. I'm ready
Start
to
dancing.
go. Ready to dance.
What would you like to drink?
That whole set was good. I had never
The whole
heard her
set
before.
was really good.
I had never
Wow.
heard them before,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I have to check her out.
yeah, it was great. It was interesting. It's like they had the Latin. They had there was
But she has
some
English songs too.
She
I
covered
mean,
a
she has
Selena
both.
song.
Yeah.
Wow.
She covered a Selena song, which is
Wow,
pretty
proud.
dope.
It was a full good
then,
set.
Anything
yeah,
Selena,
on
people were
Saturday.
gonna
And
love
they
it.
had this kind of like punk reggae.
Yeah.
Couple tracks that were like
Huh.
punk reggae, almost like a.
Like I said, again, good range.
Yeah, it was
good range of
really
music.
good. It was really
Wow.
good.
Nice.
Sophie Tucker was another good one that was out there, played in the studio stage. They have a lot of good remixes to different people out there. Simono R&B was a good one that was out there. You mentioned Blood Orange. I want to give a
Chvrches.
huge shout out to Chvrches.
Churches.
I love
I've seen her at
them.
Fun
And they
Fun
played
Fest a few
ACL.
years
They
ago.
played before Outkast and Childish Gambino in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I first saw them. I knew them before, but that's when I fell in love with them fully.
Golly.
2014. They just put on such a great show. High energy, lots of love. Brett Kavanaugh had just been confirmed.
So
And
did
she went on
ever
stage
shout
and was
out?
talking about that. She was like,
She
I'm really
was. She did get
depressed.
political and
Like,
Yeah,
yeah, she went all
yeah.
political out there as well. And she's like, you
Which
know,
was really well received.
yeah, and she's like, my songs make you dance and cry, and like this man will make you do both, and let's just do it. And this is, she just connects so well.
yeah,
with the
she
crowd.
did, and she brought because again, she's like, we have Brexit, we all have our issues.
Yeah,
Every
she said
country
that.
has their
She
issues.
wasn't really trying
Yeah,
to judge
Brexit,
somebody.
Brett
Yeah, it
Kavanaugh.
wasn't just like trashing America. So,
Yeah,
you
so I
know,
mean, it's just so
she knew
good.
her
She's
audience.
so good.
Yeah, it was a positive message.
Yeah.
And it was,
I-
like I said, it was
She
well
was
received.
incredible.
I
just
recommend her
couldn't-
at all times. Even if you don't like her music, like there's people that just put on a good show.
Yeah,
And that's one of them.
like you said, just like a pixie. This like
Yeah, a
fairy,
little
just,
Scottish pixie.
with this like she had what is that black swan makeup.
yeah.
That
Oh, wow.
I kept telling. I
Like
mean, I
Natalie
had glitter on my
Portman-esque
face,
Black
but by
Swan.
the end of it, I mean, glitter was found glitter.
She's just
places
spinning
that
around the whole
shouldn't have
time,
been.
hair's flying everywhere.
It's
She's
so
just prancing
great.
around
Yeah,
stage.
she was incredible.
They put on a great show. I've seen them
multiple
times.
Yeah.
I mean,
She
at
was-
Fun, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Fun
what I saw-
Fun
that's what I
was
saw
a great
for sure.
show.
And then they played Sound on Sound the next year after that.
They did?
Yeah.
I didn't catch them
Yeah,
then.
Wait,
that-
they did?
Yeah.
In the forest?
Yeah.
You were high,
there.
dude.
I must wait. I was with you.
I know, I wasn't high.
That explains. Okay.
No way.
that's
I
there you
thought I
go.
saw. But anyways,
They,
I
they
would
put on a great show every time.
Yeah, they put on a really good show. Other one I want to give a shout out to on Saturday. I'm surprised no one's mentioned St. Vincent. I've seen her show a couple times. She puts on a great show, St. Vincent. And I'm not even like a giant fan of her music, but great show, St. Vincent. She's from a Houstonian local artist.
Shout out.
Which now brings us to Metallica. Unless somebody else has any other artists.
No, I want to
I
get to
went to
Metallica.
Justice. I didn't even see Metallica.
Oh.
I'd see
I got to-
Metallica.
We went both weekends.
I did, but I saw Metallica. I had already heard about the sound issue, so I was like, I'm not even gonna mess with that. I'm gonna go see Justice, and I love disco house. That's my jam. So that, I mean, I was in heaven. That was awesome.
Okay.
If you like Daft Punk,
Yeah, Daft Punk.
That's what it's
you'll
like.
like Justice.
I
They're
like
both-
Justice.
They're French as
They're
well.
French.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
they're
Hello.
French.
Justice.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hello,
Oh my
Justice.
goodness.
I'm not.
Fellow
I'm not.
countryman, and you left him out. Oh.
Yeah,
I
they
don't
were
know, is
so
there-
good.
is
They,
there
streets I
they
don't know?
build their beat, and they have these just like, again, it was just another iconic. I mean, the lights and again these EDM acts that they had. Some of them, like Millennium, played during the day, so it was kind of hard to get the effect of the
I didn't.
lasers and things
That's
like
all that
that.
was on Sunday, right?
Yeah,
Sunday.
and
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
some of the EDM Res played during the day, and that kind of takes away from the we're
Remember
talking
Flying
about
Lotus playing during the
graphics,
day.
yeah, and so having Justice play at night was just part
Much
of it,
better.
you know, because it really added to the whole.
Shout out to the French. I just
Yeah,
found out
they're
they're French.
good.
They were great.
Justice,
I mean,
yeah.
that was
great.
That was a great.
It was so fun.
So
I mean, just sound was good too.
I want to get to Metallica. I'm a fan of Metallica, believe it or not. You don't have to.
Why would you think you're not a fan?
I don't know.
Why
It's
would you think
it's
that?
heavy
I assume
metal.
you're a fan. They're a legend.
No,
didn't like the
no,
Beatles.
but
You don't like
I
the
made-
Beatles?
I made a
Oh,
trade.
I guess
that's
you gotta be a
why.
fan of Metallica.
I
at
made
that
a
point.
trade with one of my best friends when I was like 12 years old. He's like, look, I'm gonna get you into Metallica and you get me into Snoop Dogg. So we traded, and then
Did
I
y'all
would
do it
go-
while drinking gin and juice?
Yeah, and we had puppets.
Is your money on your
And we were
mind?
master of puppets too. We studied Enter Sandman in music class, and we had to do a whole like presentation and learn how to play it and all of that shit.
That ties in your memory though. So now you're.
Yeah, I'm like, I have to see him. I have to see him perform.
They did.
And boy, what I love the most is like they played like a scene from the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Mm-hmm. They did.
Like
Opening.
the last scene with like Tuco
That's how they opened.
running through the cemetery, and then no Halo Austin, just
No.
straight wailing, just straight,
Yeah,
no
they-
talk, nothing.
Strip.
That's what they do.
Shred.
Like no nothing, no welcome. Like James Hetfield didn't like address the crowd until 15 minutes in
Yeah.
because they were just going off.
That's what
That's
they did.
From the
that's,
get.
That's
Wow.
Metallica.
Yes, I love that. I love that. So
What?
no talk, nothing, just go at it, and wow.
I think it was smart for them not to talk because when he did, he actually doesn't have a lot of charisma.
No, that's not much to say.
So it's kind of awkward where he's talking. He's like, "Yeah, you're rocking. Yeah, we're rocking."
No, he goes, "Are you alive?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
but
that's-
to be alive, you
that's
have
what he
to
says.
be. You want to
That's-
be dead, and then he played the.
It's
That's all.
kind of lame, honestly.
It was.
But,
It was.
But his music carries it, right? But I appreciate him trying and like trying to engage the crowd. You may be lame, but you're trying. You don't have that skill, but you still engage the crowd to some extent.
But
you get points for that.
But I didn't see. Again, I mean, I wasn't way up front, so I don't know what was happening there. But I wonder how the younger generation receives something like Metallica, because can you name a band like Metallica today who like plays that kind of heavy metal on that level?
Ooh.
Yeah, I can't. I
I mean,
mean,
you're
not
talking-
follow
you're
it.
I'm not a
talking
huge metal person.
You're
so
you're
that-
talking about
yeah.
a band that. I mean, they're gonna transcend time.
No, they are.
I mean, but like as far as a band that
Like a heavy metal band that like that not necessarily on that level, but that's like rocking and really wailing like these
I
guys
mean, I
do.
could name off a few. I mean, one of them's from here in Austin, The Sword. Mastodon is another good one. I mean, before Lemmy died, rest in peace. Motorhead.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, bands like that. I mean, well, Fun used to
Used
Used
to
to
bring
buzz-
a lot of
used
bring
to
a
great-
lot
buzz
like
like, yeah, a lot-
Judas Priest,
yeah,
Diamond
yeah,
Head, and
yeah.
all those bands like that. But
No, but I mean, for today, like a young band that's playing that like 18-year-old, like 15-year-old kids are listening to that does
I
heavy metal.
think it's there. I think it's not our jam. Like
I mean, we
it'll
don't know.
bubble up to me,
But
but
so-
it's not as.
yeah,
because-
I don't.
There's some local Austin bands I agree that are on that scene.
I mean, The Sword, they've opened up for Metallica a
Yeah.
couple times on tour
I like
and
The
stuff
Sword.
like that. So
Shout out to Cash, Slate Terrica. I had these guys on the podcast, and they are Slayer, Pantera, Metallica cover band.
Yeah.
oh, nice.
And yeah, and then Cash does a great James Hetfield impression, and he came on the show. We talked about like how they do that screaming voice and all that. It was very interesting. So, what I also liked during the Metallica thing is that, well, no, I was curious how the people. I didn't see that. There was no mosh pits. I mean, at least I didn't see any.
Okay, so
I was wondering what the
so-
energy. I wondered
You
what the
weren't
energy.
close
What the
enough.
energy was up front.
I'm pretty
I can
sure
tell you that.
because I
about
know
up
he
front.
did make some comments a couple of times, like, dude, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like
Well,
low
but
energy type. Of shit.
Metallica's not a. They're not a punk rock band. Like punk rock bands, they'll mosh like crazy, or like
Sure.
a Rage Against the Machine or something
Yeah.
like that. You're gonna get that there.
Mhm.
Metallica, they're like this. They're a metal band, but they're like a ballad metal. They
Yeah.
play these
Yeah, you're
very
not gonna march
long
to Nothing Else
6,
Matters.
7
I get
minute
that.
songs, and they play
they're
them.
mosh pits,
They're
though.
heavy, they're hard, but they're not. That's not. I don't think that's. I mean, granted, I mean, my 3 older brothers could probably tell you something different,
Mhm.
watching them in the '80s and stuff.
Probably.
But to me, Metallica and mosh pits don't.
Well, that's
Well,
really
it's
mosh
like
pit,
oil
but
and
just
water
I'm
kinda
just
thing.
maybe mosh pit's too much. But I'm talking about like high energy response from what they were doing on stage. Because you look at the VIP thing, they all just.
Well, I mean, it could be the Paul McCartney thing. Everybody's like, "Wow, that's Metallica." Like, I'm just gonna take it in.
That's okay.
You
I
know,
know
I
that.
mean, you know. So
I need to jump in here because, again, festival veteran here, I haven't gone to them. We've talked about this before, right? And our tips and tricks on festivals and watching music. Where do you want to be depending on what experience you want? If you want to hear the music and you don't want to move around a lot, you might want to sit down and just chill. You're kind of towards the back and you're in the middle, so you can hear the good sound.
Right.
from
Right.
both
That's
ends.
what I was.
That's where you usually are. You like to dance a little bit more and have more space.
I
for
need
that.
room.
Make some space.
I want the energy of the crowd. Like I feed off the energy of the crowd and the energy of the band. I need to be in the mix with people, and so I'm always in front of the sound booth somewhere. That's my threshold.
Mhm.
And so where I was at for Metallica, people were jumping the entire time, and I knew I was close because people kept passing out too. It's like it was hot. They'd been there all day. They're drunk on drugs, whatever. And people just dropping.
That's a whole other.
That's a whole nother.
That's a whole other topic, but that's the point. Like, I was just saying, there was that level of energy, but it depends on where you're at. Like, people that are dedicated to it are a lot closer because they've been there for a while, and I was around all that.
Well, the reason why I was asking is because
definitely
I
mosh
looked at James Hetfield and he made a comment, like basically, like wake the fuck up kind of deal. That's why I was curious what was going on. But anyway,
You said wake up, like the crowd wasn't into it?
it he didn't like scream it, like he mouthed it, I guess, in a way. It looked like he wasn't getting the response he was expecting.
Gotcha.
So I caught that, and I thought maybe
Yeah,
it was-
I buy that back to his
maybe it
local
depends on the
charisma.
song too, because I mean,
Well, I
Like,
was-
he doesn't know how to engage the crowd and hype them up. So he's like a bad rapper that doesn't perform a lot. It's blaming your crowd for the lack of energy. That's your fault as an artist.
well, I mean, they're wailing. I don't know how much energy you want to get.
Well, I mean, I will say this though about James though is that he's gotten a lot better playing the guitar.
Really?
Like, yeah,
I don't
mean,
know. I've only
time-
heard him the past
Over
couple
over
years.
time, I mean, whenever they started playing, they were just thrashing. But
Yeah.
like when they play one,
Mhm.
like he leads it in. Like he's gotten really. I mean,
It's really
for me
good.
from like seeing him, you know,
It's
coming on,
chills.
he's gotten better at playing the guitar in my opinion. I mean, I don't play the guitar.
I mean,
but I mean, you could tell whenever somebody could actually like fill it up versus they just play like just dun, 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 dun,
Right,
like,
they're just
dun, dun,
playing
dun,
the
dun, dun,
riff,
like
yeah.
you could kind of fill up the whole.
They
whole
changed guitars
score.
maybe like 50 times in one performance.
That's usually also a sign of a good artist when they're
I like
flipping out
I
guitars.
kind of like that.
for
Like
certain
I like the
songs.
double one. The double guitar.
I think that's
You
the
pull that one. I know how you call them. But
Oh, with the two necks.
yeah.
Oh,
Is that a double guitar? Is it
Double
not?
neck guitar.
Yeah.
Okay, double neck guitar.
I like the keytar.
The-
Jimmy Jam and Terry
Is-
Lewis.
is it a key?
80s style.
All right, let's move on to Sunday.
Sunday, like it's like everyone checks their schedule. What did
I
I
Yeah,
say?
right. I called Janelle Monae.
Oh, are we gonna start there?
I mean, that's
like,
what I got there. So
Are we gonna start
since you
there?
started there.
We can start earlier than that, I think.
we've been
We only have so much
talking for
time.
an hour and a
I want
half.
to just bring up El King.
Oh, okay.
Like El King was really good. I don't know if y'all know her, the X's and O's, my X's
yeah,
and O's.
yeah.
First of all, I'm gonna say she made a mistake by singing that song. Like it was her. She sang it 2/3 of the way through. I was like, oh, I'm leaving the Janelle Monae now. I've heard that song. I'm good. This is why I came to your set. Like normally you play your most popular song at the end.
Yeah.
From a production standpoint, she should wait to play that song at the end. I also found out she was, is it Rob Schneider's daughter? Does anyone know? Someone told me that, the comedian. No, is that
No
I
idea.
don't know, that's-
Google
What do you know?
expert?
I know.
Somebody find that
We'll
out.
have
I
to-
just thought
we'll
that
have
was
to-
an interesting tidbit.
Byron, can you look?
I know, right? God, that's no graph to look for all that. But she is a good, like, strong, like Southern rock is what I would classify her as.
Yeah.
But it's very soulsy on the Southern rock
I did
side.
get the and I'm not comparing. I did get the Janis Joplin kind of vibe. From
I would agree. Yep, like that. So it was a good set. Someone asked me, should I go see them? I'm like, yeah, if you pay less than $30, that's a good set. Good show to see them. That was El King, and
That's
then
why you go to festivals, though. You pay like a bigger chunk of money, and you
to
get
see all
these
those.
artists.
You make it
packed
worth
in
your
a
money.
weekend.
Shit, I don't care.
Agreed.
I'm making my money's worth if I'm paying that much for a show.
There was a couple others I
Who
saw,
else?
but I'll let you move into.
Yeah, so-
Ex Ambassadors. I'll just say I caught a piece of them. I didn't hear the songs that I knew, but they had a good sound. That was one band I wish I went both weekends for, just to catch them as well. Didn't you all see them? by chance? No?
that was the stage that I was by, and both weekends they had a
They
great
did
crowd
it.
that was interactive, and Renegades came on. I think that's one of the
Yeah.
tracks.
Yep.
And he had a big speech about inclusion and
Oh, good.
talked about talking about just all kinds of things that want to bring people together,
Right.
like
Yeah.
your sex,
I like
race, color, creed.
I like when they do that, but when they get
religion.
too preachy, it
and
gets
then
annoying.
boom, went right into Renegades, and it was
Oh,
just
good.
a different vibe. Like he
He
talked
set the
about-
song up in that sense.
Yeah, he set the whole song up. Talked about just loving one another, being about just like don't worry about this, that, and the other. Just be who you are and love who you are and love everybody else for who they are too. And then boom, went right into it, and it was just I won't say weird vibe, but it was like that. Okay, cool. Like everybody got charged up, and it was like a slow build up to the song, and then
Yeah.
boom, song came in, and everybody was just ate it up.
Okay, you just making me regret not going. Thanks.
Sorry.
Next time, Gadget.
Because
all
I
right.
went to Janelle Monae.
Janelle Monae, I caught like maybe the last third of her show, and boy, she kills it.
She's the
That's-
queen.
She
Right.
honestly,
I
she,
snuck away that
she's
second
like
weekend.
Third time I've
Saw
seen
that.
her this
she's
year.
like James Brown meets Janet Jackson.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
she was,
add
she had
Prince
the
in there.
military outfit.
Oh, for sure. Well,
Who?
Prince with
Prince.
her
Yeah,
latest
Prince, yeah.
album.
Yeah.
I mean, she has that one song she does. She even throws the background purple, and it goes long like
Yeah.
Purple Rain.
I mean, she was doing all like the James Brown tricks with the microphone stand and like
Oh, yeah.
like spinning and just leaning into it and all that. I'm
She
like,
moonwalked
wow.
at one point.
She did.
Really?
Yeah, she
First-
moonwalked.
yeah.
She didn't see.
Moonwalked.
So I missed her at ACL because I had 2 really long Saturdays, but I saw her ACL live taping.
Oh,
That
must have been
was
awesome.
insane. And even the person who hosts, he's been hosting ACL live. He's like, I watched her dress rehearsal, and he's like, this is gonna be my favorite show, hands down, that I've ever
She
seen.
had multiple outfit changes.
Yeah,
For-
but and again, because at those ACL live tapings, she actually performed songs multiple times. They came back to re-record songs.
Oh,
oh,
yeah,
gotcha.
at the
Awesome.
taping. So it wasn't like we saw one, and so but I was like,
Talk
wow,
about a
she
treat.
just brought
Yeah.
all of that energy. Because the one the way you make me feel, I'm trying to no, that's Michael Jackson. I'm trying to think of the one, but she had like a backlight, and I mean that's what she's doing all the moves. I'm trying to think of the song. That's
give
just
me.
the way you make me.
Oh,
that's
is that?
just the
Oh,
way you
I know.
make me
I'm
feel.
just starting talking about. I don't know what the name of the track
Dirty.
is.
I think that's like her opening track of Dirty Computer.
Yeah. So so like she did that, and then she turned around and did it again, back to back.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, she
Able to
just
reproduce that
laid her
energy.
heart
Do you-
out there on the line. I was like, how is she gonna? I mean, she brought it. Like
Wow.
She
everything
should have
that
been
she
a bigger
did.
font, I think.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
When
Yeah,
Chvrches
yeah.
Gambino dropped off, I was like, put Janelle Monae in
So
there.
that's what I was
should've.
gonna say when you first brought her up. Before we even got
was
to
a
it, it's
shame
like
she was
all
at
I
the time she
heard
was.
was that
I
she
wish
should
she
have been
would've-
the head closer.
Yeah.
Like
She was probably the
nothing
best
against
act I
Travis
saw.
Scott, nothing against anybody else,
She
but like
should've.
Arctic
the show that
Monkeys
she
or-
put on, and the second weekend I got to sneak away and go check out a glimpse of it, and I was like, man, yeah,
Yeah, she was
is
great.
Incredible.
And then she gives some shout outs, to the LGBTQAI, whatever the other letters are. But one way I can tell when someone's really capturing the crowd is when people are walking away, like to go wherever, they're dancing on their way out.
Yeah.
yeah.
A lot of people did that
Yeah,
during
that's true.
Janelle Monae, and kids too. Kids were just walking away or just walking in, just
Wow.
already dancing, and people didn't give a shit. They were just like, "This is so uplifting. This is such great uplifting music and funky." And she had the energy. She had the dancers. I was like, "Holy shit! Yeah, this is like
She's got
Prince,
charisma.
James Brown, Janet, all
She's
in
everything.
one.
Execution, like so.
Wow.
One of the things I gave last year's show, Solange, like has a well executed, crisp show, and Janelle had that show this year. Like no one was off beat.
Yep.
Everyone's on point. There's a lot of intricacies in her dance moves and timing and
the
dress.
dancers too, the coordination of all those
It
different
is.
elements.
It's
The
a lot of
keyboards,
work.
You know, those people
Yep.
with the keyboards, and I mean, just the band itself and all the different instruments that they're playing, too. I mean, like you said, it was just so many different elements, and to bring those all together.
And the visuals, the visuals on the stages and the pyro. That was the most pyro I've seen.
Those pyro
at
doing
ACL.
Yep.
I mean, just like the flames in front, the pyrotechnics in the
Oh.
air. I mean,
Again, she's
as a
not
photographer, I would have not wanted to shoot this festival because the stages were about like the main stage was about 10 feet before you got to the stage. I would have been shooting nostrils. You know, the stages were really high because they just had a lot of pyro this year.
Right.
Yeah,
like,
that's
I was
true.
looking at the stages and it was
Every headliner had some.
Yeah.
Going on,
Well, I saw Tinashe.
Tinashe, R&B, yeah.
Tinashe. She's like a mini Aaliyah wannabe. I think. I mean, the kids were into it. I'm like, all right, if that's what. And here's the thing, she actually did some covers. Like she sang "No Scrubs" at one point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like why not? Like you don't have enough to cover.
all
Like
right.
you don't do no scrubs. All right, cool. But and also, so to go back to the visuals, they were showing her music videos as she was performing.
So it's like a VJ almost.
Pretty basic.
Yes.
That's what.
Well,
it
no,
is.
but she's the only one that I saw that had like that music video.
Oh, Blood
Otherwise-
Orange. They just
Blood-
didn't have the right
Blood
ones.
Orange with Rough Riders. And Lil Wayne had this giant Lil Wayne head, like the CGI, just like nodding. Like it was creepy as fuck. The big eyes just nodding back and forth on the
That's
screen.
actually also basic. It's
And
just
like
a
skulls.
thing moving to a beat.
And I'm like, but
Yeah.
the Tinashe was meh.
Tinashe.
Yeah. I want to get to the band that I saw next. That was I had no idea. Actually, no, I had an idea. A friend of mine told me the night before. He goes, "Go see the Revolution." I'm like, "Who the fuck is the Revolution?"
What?
Okay, so that tripped me out
Same.
because
Yes.
whenever I went to go buy merch, I went to go buy a Metallica shirt because I was like, I gotta buy a Metallica
No,
shirt.
by himself. Like he didn't. I didn't put
Right.
two and two
Right.
together.
No, in your defense too, I had one of my friends, Chuck, he
Tito's.
sent me a DM and he's like, "Hey, you have to go see Revolution." Like, and I was like, he's like, "It's Prince's band." I was like,
Yeah.
"What?"
I had no idea they were
Yeah.
there.
Nobody
I was at the
did.
merch tent.
A lot of
I
people
had the
did it.
merch
And
tent.
I
I
was
made
why
sure
did
to
they
let people know because people were like, "I can't believe I missed that."
Quick notice, they're coming to Austin in January.
December
December.
29th.
Okay,
Well,
right.
look,
No way.
y'all clearly researched it.
I
After
just-
missing,
my- me, I'm taking my girlfriend.
I didn't. It's like between Christmas and New
It
Year's,
is
isn't it?
December
I'm
29th.
down.
Very first show.
Because I saw a Purple
Austin.
Rain shirt in the artist merch, and I was like, what the hell is a
Is
Purple
that-
Rain shirt? And I looked at I was like, oh, the Revolution's here.
When I walked into that tent, average
You did see
age
it.
35. Yeah, I did see it. Like no kids in there. It was all like
Right.
grown folks, and they came out. So what I didn't know was, well, first of all, they were all like the original members of the
Yes.
Revolution, so they're all in their
Yeah.
50s.
Yeah,
35 years they've
Yes.
been together.
mostly
And
original. Yeah.
She like handpicked by Prince. At first, they did a couple songs at the beginning. I don't think they were
This
Prince
Weekend one or
songs.
Weekend two?
Weekend two. I went
Okay.
Weekend two.
Yeah, Weekend 2 is good.
And then when it got into the Prince stuff, I mean, they played it like, oh my god, it was great.
I mean, they wrote some of it and produced it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they wrote some. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's
saw
their
both.
song.
So I
Everybody's
saw them
singing
both
along.
weekends.
I mean, they did all the
Purple Rain
classics.
is their song.
Yeah, because I think it
Prince's.
was. I don't know if it was Purple Rain, but it was another song. It was Wendy and one of the other
Wendy, yeah.
females came up with just like they played it. They had like a couple tracks laid
Is it
down.
Lisa and
of just-
somebody?
I think it was Lisa.
Lisa
and
and
Wendy.
Wendy, yeah.
Yeah.
Lisa
They
and Wendy,
had-
they
they
wrote
had-
Purple Rain.
They
Purple
had
Rain's their song.
instrumentals
Really?
kind of laid down,
Uh-huh.
and they gave it to Prince.
They had their own band
And then-
together,
and
from
then
what I
he,
saw.
And then he took it overnight.
Boom.
Wrote a hit.
Wow.
I mean, I mean,
They were
you're talking about a whole.
well. The
nother
first
level.
Yeah,
I
it's a
saw
whole
them
other
the
tangent.
first weekend and the second weekend. I felt like second weekend I like actually got up in there and it wasn't as crowded for some reason.
The second weekend?
Yeah, to watch the Revolution. The first weekend was packed, but I mean the energy that they brought the first weekend. I mean the guitarist split his pants. Like,
Nice.
at the end of the show.
I appreciate the
And he was
effort.
like, oh, and he was like covering it, and they're
Uh-oh.
like, see, like, look at this energy that he
Yeah.
brought.
Look at this
you know?
energy. My pants.
Yeah.
My pants are
His wife-
energy
they
coming
wore-
out of my pants,
The
guys.
Lenny Kravitz thing.
Yeah.
Check out this
I was gonna
energy.
say.
I wasn't gonna say it, but you guys.
How you like this energy, folks?
I will say
Big
this.
dick energy over here.
Okay, you went there.
The artist.
I was not gonna say it.
Come on, that was.
Not gonna say it.
Like you said, you cheated up. I just hit it.
So,
Right.
oh yeah, you did say that earlier. The artist that I know, and my girlfriend, she's gonna be sad that she missed it, but Shawn Mendes.
Who's this guy?
Second weekend.
Who is he? Because I want to know.
Singer-songwriter-esque.
Singer-songwriter, young,
Pretty boy.
young, cute kid.
Yeah, gotta be.
Very attractive. There's a lot of people there for him.
Oh yeah.
That crowd was huge.
But like, like adults and I mean, I'm sure
it was a wide range of adults.
Really?
And, yeah.
And he can sing his heart out. And he has a guitar, like
And
acoustic
I
type
mean,
shit.
so I don't follow him. I don't listen to him. I've heard his tracks, but I mean, there wasn't a song. There was maybe 2 or 3 songs out of his whole set that I didn't know, or I haven't heard before.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Is that
So I
big?
mean, he's got a lot of good songs that are on the radio, or on I listen to Sirius XM and stuff. But
He's got some diehard fans.
yeah, I mean,
I had people messaging me.
People crying and
People were
stuff?
messaging me like, "How? Which entrance do I need to take? Because I have to be first. You know,
Yeah.
for
Closest
Shawn
to
Mendes,
him.
I have to be up there.
It was.
You know, and I was
I would say
wow.
his
They have a
crowd,
religious experience when they
his crowd was probably one of the bigger crowds.
I could see that.
Like out of the whole festival that whenever I would walk around and see festivals, he had a huge crowd.
Wow.
Huge crowd.
Wow, impressive.
Yeah.
Shawn
I mean,
Mendes.
for me, it's again, I don't follow him. I've heard his songs and stuff, but for me,
It's
just
okay.
to look, you look at him, you look on somebody on stage, and you see a young kid, and you just look, you're like, man, that's
Oh, that's
pretty
doing it at that
incredible, you know. It's, well, I mean,
I've
like-
been slacking. This
well, I
guy's
mean-
14 and he
well, I mean,
already
like
got.
Travis Scott. I remember seeing Travis Scott here at South by Southwest with like
Yeah.
25 people in the crowd.
Oh yeah.
And now he's headlining ACL with
Hipster drugs.
Shaq.
yeah, it's Shaq.
Yeah.
With 50,
Yeah, with-
60,000
yeah, I saw
people
Shaq
in
at
front
the-
of him. So it's pretty
The
incredible to see
MX
that.
thing with
Yeah.
Byron Davis.
Yeah, he was there.
So let's get to Travis Scott. I personally didn't know anything. I mean, I knew he's a rapper. I didn't know any of his songs. I know he does autotune, which pisses me off already. So that I don't want to.
Yeah,
I didn't want to check it out. I'm like, all right,
that.
I'll keep an open mind. I'm gonna go see Travis Scott. I was, standing in the back, not too far out.
How about that Astro World?
I don't know
An
the album.
intro and
bro.
outro.
No, but my thing is this: one, I appreciate a rapper who can hold a stage by himself. That's, to me, that's big, because I'm used to shows where there's like 50 motherfuckers on stage and they all have a mic and they're all going to be talking
they
shit.
don't.
Or they don't, and then they're just standing there
there.
like just mugging. I hate that about hip hop.
Yeah.
I hate that shit. So
Yeah.
one dude on stage just running up and down, and I don't know what the hell he's saying, first of all, because it's auto-tune. But
Jamba
the
Juice.
energy is
Jamba Juice.
He does have a song called
Yeah,
Jamba
I didn't.
Juice.
I
You got a
heard
song
that.
called
I
Jamba
heard
Juice?
that
He does.
He does, and I heard a song. Somebody messaged me because I was like, "Did I just hear Jamba Juice when I was filming?" And I put that in my little story, and someone commented, they're like, "Oh yeah, he's got a whole song. Check it out on Jimmy Fallon." Jimmy Fallon has a
Yeah.
whole set about it, about like, "Hey, so heard you're really into Jamba Juice." He's like, "Yeah, me and my girl." And they actually did like a
I wrote
Jamba
a
Juice.
song. I wrote
love
the song
Jamba
when I
Juice.
was
They
in
did it.
college.
Right.
I
They
wrote
did
on
a
a
Jamba
napkin
Juice.
in 10 minutes.
They did a Jamba Juice taste test on Jimmy Fallon, and he nailed them all. But it was
Nice.
just- yeah, he.
Well, he's just
I don't know
healthy.
whether I like that or
Wait,
not.
Jimmy,
right?
Jamba Juice made it to Jimmy Fallon?
Yeah.
Nice.
It did.
Right.
But I mean, it was Travis Scott.
I'm
But
kinda
no, same
torn.
with you.
Exporting our culture.
The production was what I mean. You can't
Yes.
help but like bounce and dance and the energy.
But do
know,
you
with the
think if it
crowd.
was just him, no effects, just him on stage with a microphone, he would be able to hold on like that?
It would have been like what I saw him 5 years ago at South by Southwest with
25
like
people.
25 people in front of him. You know what I mean?
No,
That's what it
auto-tune?
was,
he
but
had a production though.
Yeah, it
right?
was huge
The
production.
stage
I mean,
was
I
going
saw-
up and
I think
down.
the,
why you
was there
have
a
that.
DJ on one of the
Yeah, the DJ was on the one.
platforms
Shaq
and stuff?
came out and
Yeah, I mean-
did some stuff with
What?
him.
What did
so.
I didn't care. I was gone by the time.
Shaq was
came
King
out.
Weekend too. He didn't
Shaq,
go.
Shaq
Yeah.
came out hype man, straight up hype man.
So he
He's
did
like-
what LeBron did to Drake just a few days before.
Shaq came
There was a
out.
video of like LeBron just gets on stage with Drake and so just basically
And he
starts
still
like
looks
rapping
massive. Yeah, he's like, get low, guys.
Did he do the
Everybody get
Fushnikins
low."
rap?
No, I don't know. I didn't see him. I didn't see Shaq. I saw him like standing.
I would have rather seen Shaq at the Kitty Limits
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh, I didn't-
stage than
was there.
on Travis Scott's
Hanging out,
stage. I'm just saying. I just saw like somebody posted a video. I was like,
I
oh,
want
man,
y'all
I should've been
to
there for
put
that.
your hands in the air.
And that's what he did. I mean, and there's like, yeah, they're like, get low. He's like,
Was he
and then-
rapping?
No, he
You
was.
didn't do any Twizzle
He
shit?
was more of like the
Was
hype
Shaq
man.
Diesel?
Like
Yeah,
what
he
you
was.
said.
Yeah, he was.
No
he was
Shaq
more like
Diesel.
hype man.
Do you
was-
want me to shoot it? No. Do you want me to pass it? No. Do you want me to slam? Yeah.
He had-
That would have been hilarious, by the way.
Oh,
If he had jumped this shit,
man.
I would have laughed. I mean, yeah, that would have been dope.
Yeah, you talk about
Yeah,
the crowd though.
but
for
nobody
Travis
would
Scott, too.
nobody would. You'd be the only person in the
I don't
crowd
care. I
jumping.
do it just for me. I was
That
just
was all
laugh. That'd
because
be
that
my
was one
story.
of the things, like the things about we're talking about the crowd.
Uh-huh.
I mean, my friend and I were sitting there, and I was like, "It's kids. It's all
Yeah.
kids. Like I am the
It
oldest
is.
person here."
I was at Arctic Monkeys.
Yeah, it was. And again,
I
they
fell
called it-
asleep at
That
Arctic
was-
Monkeys.
I didn't like Arctic Monkeys.
I just
went and saw
literally-
them. I know a lot of their songs.
Sunday night
I
was
sat down and I passed out.
Yeah. So Sunday night. So for me, we skipped over like Phoenix, which I really liked. Weekend one. They were really good.
They were really good.
Yeah, I saw,
Yeah,
I
really
saw
good
Revolution.
That was their last show of their tour, I think.
Was
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was.
yeah, they're really
I
good.
heard that was something special.
Phoenix, and then I also saw someone else that night. Oh, I'll point out Camila Cabella, the
That was Weekend
pop,
One,
pop,
right?
pop.
Yeah.
Oh, was she weekend one?
I think so.
Pop, 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 pop. She was okay.
I could be wrong, but she's like I think,
fifth
She's
Army
Latino? Latina?
yeah.
of
She's very
some
popular.
some
Yeah.
strain. Yeah, I mean,
I just saw a
she's
picture.
good.
She was
She's
good.
She's like one
she's
of
the
the first,
Selena
like,
Gomez,
yeah,
the whatever.
the Havana song.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I know. Again, I don't know. I didn't-
No, I haven't. I promise you I haven't.
You probably have.
Okay.
If I hear a song, shut up.
You
If
heard it
if
in
I hear a
passing,
song-
but it was like just put in the
You
background.
know.
No,
it.
listen. The way I operate is if I hear a song I like, I'm gonna find out who it is. If it doesn't catch my ear, I'm like, I don't
In one
give
ear,
a
out
shit.
the other.
Yes, I really don't care. So if she was that great to my liking, I would know that it was her. But I don't know anything she did.
She has the one song, I heard that was good. And at one point, like, she was talking and like, hey guys, gotta talk about something. And she went talking about like her personal relationships. And I was like, I was just like, I can't take this. I don't
Hey.
care. Just
Is she young?
sing
Like-
and dance. Yeah.
No.
Fifth Harmony, have you heard of that group?
Yeah.
Okay. All the other music listeners have. So Fifth Harmony is like a voice or something. They're
vocal-
put
vocal
together.
group. Yeah.
Vocal group. She's from that. But nonetheless, that's another one I saw. And then I went and saw Arctic Monkeys because I felt Travis Scott, younger crowd as everyone's mentioned. And it was Sunday. I'd been out like going hard all the days. And it's Sunday night. And I worked the next fucking day. And I'm a grown ass man.
You say it like it's your first time.
Well,
Like you know that was gonna.
don't
was
hurt
gonna
me.
happen.
It's my first time. So I want to see Arctic Monkeys because I knew that'd be I could chill a little bit more and I'd be easier.
Are
to
they
get up there.
big?
Arctic
Oh,
Monkeys,
oh,
yeah.
yeah.
For what they
They're
do,
huge.
they have
It's
a
a weird
good
name.
I would say they have a very solid core following.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say they're kind of like broad. They could kind of grab a whole demographic of people. I feel like you have to really listen to them and like them.
It's like Radiohead.
Yeah.
We love
Yeah.
Radiohead.
Okay, yeah. So when I
Like-
went, they started off with some pretty like high energy type of songs, and then it started just slowing down, and I sat
couldn't
down
stay,
and I
yeah.
fell asleep.
That's what
I'm like, I'm gonna go back to the
It went low
auto-tune.
energy.
Well, especially when you're at a festival, you know, people like that upbeat, you know, everyone's coming on the energy of the crowd, and when,
Right,
you know,
right,
it
right.
just kind of goes down, everybody's like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't engaging. Like he was just playing
Did he
songs.
talk?
Yeah, they were.
song,
Yeah,
no,
they
not
were just
really.
kind of just.
They didn't talk.
He was
to
just
the crowd?
phoning it in.
Yes and no. I mean, it
He
wasn't
talked
like
a little bit, but not.
it
not
wasn't
what
one
you
of those
expect.
like engaging
Yeah.
kind of things. They
See,
just
I-
came in and played and just kind of just went. It
I
was like
mean,
a
they're an
jukebox.
established band, so I think at this point, like
But I mean,
they could do
No,
that.
but that's what separates you apart.
But you know what though? I think.
Oh, McCartney didn't do that.
Well, you told stories. That's huge.
Yeah, but I mean, what happens if you put Paul McCartney on a Sunday?
Yeah, it's tough.
You know what I'm saying?
I
So,
would've-
yeah,
I would've-
no,
I would've
no,
trooper.
that-
I mean, I
that'd
would've
be
made
a
it
horrible
happen.
booking.
Well, I'm
I
saying
would've
though,
made
That'd be a
sure.
horrible
But
booking,
I-
But the
first
problem
of
is, it's already a slower group in general. Like
Right.
Arctic Monkeys is not hype, and then I'm like
Right.
trying to listen
Well, I
to
say
some of that
I
low
would
energy.
for me, you know, I would think if I got billed on a Sunday of a festival, 3 or 4 day festival, because there's some out there that are 4 days.
Yeah.
You got to bring it. Like I feel like, you know,
Yeah. It doesn't
everybody's,
matter what day
everybody's
you
been
want.
going
They know,
hard.
like, Sunday's
you know,
gonna
and then
be
if you
a
go like to
slower
a
day,
fest that's in a
too.
city, you know, like Austin, you know, you have Austin City Limits.
Lala.
I mean, if you go to Voodoo Fest,
Mhm.
I mean, you got
Maybe
New
next
Orleans
weekend.
right there. I mean, and you're playing Sunday, man, you got to bring it because people have
Yeah.
been partying since Thursday night,
Yeah,
and they
Yeah.
probably haven't slept maybe 2 hours,
good point.
and they probably slept 2 hours before your set
I don't know who you're talking
at the
about.
park. I'm just saying, like, I just feel like
Look
I
at me
feel like
judged
I feel
right
like
now.
sometimes depending on the festival, depending on the location of the festival, the Sunday artists they do have a kind of stacked deck. You
Mhm.
know, the crowd's kind of a little bit more kind of
Right.
You
You're
know,
working with lower energy at that
right, a
point.
little
Well,
bit
you know-
lower energy and stuff like that. So that does play into who they book on Sundays.
I like-
But Travis Scott helped because like he was high energy for the people that really wanted to go about it.
Right.
That
High
that
energy, indeed.
much energy just right there. And so it was such a big contrast. Like I was at Arctic Monkeys for like 45 minutes, and I was like, I just can't do this anymore. And I was like, I'm gonna go to Travis Scott and let's just see if he can make it happen for me.
And did it?
And I mean, I know some of his songs. It was high energy. I was just
Were
tired.
you hopping around?
I could definitely
But
hear
see,
that bass.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
they did.
heard that bass till I got home. Like that bass was keeping it.
I heard like they heard Metallica could be heard all the way out to Far West.
Well, I mean, I could hear Metallica
I could hear it from home.
all the way across. I was
From
next
home.
to Honda, while
No, I'm talking about like when I mean Far West off
Yeah.
Mopac.
Well, I'm saying,
Yeah.
Like how
mean,
loud
I
they
live
were.
like
Yeah.
a mile and a half away, and I could hear it.
I'll say, I
live
could
2
still
miles
hear
away and I could
Metallica
hear.
over.
I can hear
the
Travis
band
Scott. The
next-
bass is what
Oh.
travels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the longer sound wave. If you want to get scientific with it.
No, we don't. We don't. We talk almost 2 hours, Micco.
Really?
It is Sunday. We're tired.
Right?
No, but one thing I noticed also, like about the engagement thing. I like it when they give a shout out to the local music scene. So Metallica, when it was all shut off, they each came to the mic
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like support your local music. We love Austin because you guys
okay.
are like, they really support live music. Go see your local shows. Like they talk. They each
Did they
came,
name any locals?
Did they what?
Did they name any locals?
No, I don't think so. I don't think maybe they did. I don't know. But all I'm saying is,
You
I
like
like
shout out.
that kind of shout out.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, if
they
it-
can't play anymore because it's past 10 o'clock. But
Right.
they're still talking
although
to the crowd.
second
Right.
week at Art of Monkeys played till 10:30.
Really?
Whoa.
Yeah,
Did he shut them
did.
off?
Nope.
Wow.
They played till
That's
10:30.
significant.
Yeah.
Metallica played till like 10:01. He played right to 10.
Yeah, because I
Like
was
my
I looked at
complaints this
clock,
year
I was
about them
like,
ending early were
what's going on
not here this year, or at least not for the bands I saw.
I,
Travis Scott ended early.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm
He
not,
ended
I'm not a
15
big.
He ended 15 minutes early, but I was kind of relieved. So I was like,
I get to go home.
See, me personally,
So-
I'm not a big fan of when they end early.
I don't know.
It's,
either.
it
No
is-
one
no,
is,
it's not
no.
a good thing. Like I definitely think for the people that came to see Travis Scott, I mean, you could just hear people screaming and being, they were visibly upset.
Yeah.
Right. They
Because
figured there's an
him
encore
ending.
coming still.
Well, because
Right.
there was one year I went. I think it was 2008. Beck played, and he ended 15 minutes early. I'm like, man, you
Jay-Z
got a
ended
lot
early
more
last
music
Jay-Z
to play.
ended very early.
Yeah.
Like, you got a lot more. I know you got a lot more music to play. You
Yeah.
got
It's all
15 minutes.
bullshit.
Like so,
It is. It's a disservice to your fans that pay the. Again,
Yeah.
you're their headliner. You're who they want to see. And
Yeah, I don't know. There always is a reason.
Right.
I mean, I working the festival, kind of working back at a house stuff, and I don't know, I could be wrong. I think Drake ended early.
Drake ended early. Yeah.
Jay-Z
You know,
did too, right?
but
People were
Yeah,
pissed
I
about
was
that.
working as kind of back in the area, doing all the running for the bars, and the craziness of getting Drake in and out of that place. I mean, there was police escort. There was a lot of logistics,
Mhm.
so it's probably had to do a lot more with not so much the artists ending early.
right.
Before I worked the festival, I always thought like, well, why the hell you ending early? You still got 20 minutes. But
You guys are playing the cash.
now
and
that I've
shit?
seen the back of it, I mean, there's a lot that goes on
Yeah.
to get them in and out, and there's fans that are back there backstage that are trying to get close to them, and there's
So you got.
there's a lot more to it than just.
I'm
they just
cool
ended
with that,
early,
but
so.
you know that
But you
months in
planned it right.
advance.
Right.
And so I feel like you
True.
know the logistics of it. You know that's gonna happen, and that's gonna be a situation.
But I have a friend that was working artist management. He was back there with
Yeah.
Lil Wayne, and they were having some issues with Lil Wayne's crew because he wanted to have a whole caravan of people.
Your favorite.
Yeah, and
Fuck that shit.
But
Glad you didn't do
ACL
it.
apparently,
A non-singing choir.
This is a rumor, but apparently, he didn't have a lot of those demands met. So again, I don't know how. Again, I think like you said, it's a push pull.
So he didn't make
Yeah.
those. He didn't get those demands met, so he didn't stay on stage as long.
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying I don't know.
It
Like you
could
said,
be.
with the logistics of it, of getting in and out of there, and some things may not happen
There's
the way
always
that they expect it.
yeah.
Right.
So again,
There's always
probably a
something.
reason.
There's
for
always
it.
Sure,
something.
I get it, but if you know that's going to happen, you know how long that takes, and you don't rob the audience of 15
Right.
minutes of song
Agreed.
just because it's going to take you 10 minutes to get out.
Right.
Just because he
Yeah.
didn't get all the green Skittles out of the bag.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to give them the benefit of the doubt because, like I said,
Nope,
before
fuck 'em.
before as a
Oh, you're
fan,
right.
before
That's
as a fan,
a schedule is a schedule.
before as a fan, I would be one of the people like, oh man, that's lame. Like you kind of, I might not buy your next album, or I might not listen to.
Well,
the
I
next,
won't go that far, but start earlier then. Or
Well, I
something.
mean, it's not
Right,
the artist's
you know.
fault directly, but it's their people.
It's a
There's
reflection of them. Like,
Yeah,
no
but
one else knows
it
the
is a reflection.
backstory.
But once
so.
once you start doing, working more of the back end of things, like I mean, even as like doing photography, there was one time I got picked to shoot photos of a band. I'm not gonna say because I don't want to trash them, but
Oh, please
Now
do.
you have to tell us.
30 Seconds to Mars.
Ooh,
That wasn't hard.
that was it. Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but okay.
So it was
Oh,
Voodoo
I
Fest. It was
like a
Voodoo
couple of
Fest.
songs.
Anyway,
Yeah.
long story short, Voodoo Fest. I got picked to shoot 30 Seconds to Mars. I'm in the photo pit, ready for them to start. They're 30 minutes late already, and all of a sudden I get tapped on the shoulder from I guess one of their production guys. They're like, "Hey, like y'all aren't supposed to be shooting here." I'm like, "What are you talking about? Here's the email I got." He's like, "Well, no, you're supposed to shoot from the sound booth." I'm like, "What?" You know, like I'm like, "Well, I don't have the lens for that." I was like, "You know what? Like it you know, like things like that happen. Things just change.
Right.
You know, whether it's
I get
because
it.
like you know, like there are guys just like, nah, I don't want you that close to Jared Leto.
Right. Well, it happened
You
with the
know, so-
Revolution. Like I had met some of the cameramen, and they were saying too, like they had come film the Revolution. The Revolution said no, like no filming, just
Yeah.
photos.
Interesting.
Yeah, they only
Oh.
could do photos, so no
Yeah.
video.
I mean, there's a lot of artists that are like that. That they want certain people that they trust. Whether I mean, it's not that they don't have to trust me.
Yeah,
They-
yeah.
You know, like I could release all their photos to them, whatever.
But they have their guy.
But
their girl.
they have their people. They have what they the rapport with people that they work with. I mean, same people
right.
that. So I mean,
I get that.
you know, go like seeing the other side of things.
Right.
I don't get
Sure.
on.
That's all fine.
artists
Just
that
plan in
much, so.
advance.
Exactly.
I feel
You,
that.
you know what's up. We're only almost reaching 2 hours now. I want to get to the after parties and the after shows as quickly as possible.
Okay.
So
Who else?
I'm out.
No, I didn't. I went
no,
to bed.
but the
I went to
question's for
bed.
her because she went all out. She went all out.
I saw her Instagram feed. It was just like she was in it.
I went for it. Really went for it.
Yeah, we had an invite for.
I did. Well, and that's the thing too. That's again one of the I guess perks of my Instagram is getting these invites and again getting to interact with these people and again promote their event. So you know, I'm trying to think what I did because I was again trying to push as many events as I could out to like my followers on there. But probably my favorite party was the Red Bull party because
Red
again
Bull can
that
throw a
was
party.
yeah, and this
Whether
was,
it's F1 or anything.
Yeah.
Red Bull
yeah.
can
I've been
So
to
throw
some
there's
great
one
Red Bull
tonight.
parties.
South by Southwest parties.
They have a party tonight at Buford's.
Oh.
Yeah.
But-
Buck Rogers, shout out.
But they, so they do this thing called the Breakfast Club, which they hadn't done since Miami Music Week. So I was like, oh, this is gonna be something special. And they sent it to me, and they're like, this is invite only. You have to, like, you can't transfer this. Like, even if someone took a screenshot of it, they're like, no, your name has to be on the list. So they were like, don't push this out to your followers. Don't tell anyone. So I felt really cool for that little moment of time. But the second I got there, then they're like, okay, now we want you to put it all over your
Right.
Instagram.
To make him feel bad.
Yeah,
We got
Well, it's FOMO, everyone.
Like,
I'm
put
here,
it,
fuck
yeah.
you.
Like, put it all over there. Like, we want you, and again, but it was such a cool. So they actually took this lumber yard on the east side, like far east side. Like, I was in my Uber. I was like, where am I going? Because I was leaving a birthday party at West 6. That was crazy for my best girlfriends here in Austin. So
She thought she was gonna be in Deliverance or something. Like,
it was just like it was just nonstop. Yeah. So I'm like in this Uber and I'm like, where are we? Because again, you just have this address. You don't really have anything.
Yeah, those
So-
East Austin parties.
And so we go.
man.
You go in, and again, it's like people are getting because it says you
Yeah.
can't park anywhere. Like it was
Yeah.
again a pretty official thing. And again, being Red Bull, I was like, I have to see what this is. And so I get there, and they have this check-in, and there are people standing outside that couldn't get in. So then I felt uber
People
cool.
that know about it
Yeah.
and aren't on the list. Yeah.
People that, but yeah, they came, and so again, I was like, I hope I get in. I show up, and they're like, what's your name? So they pull me up. They're like, all right, you're good. Enjoy the party. But it was an actual lumber yard that they converted into a club / they had like literally lumber, and they had these like flat
That's cool.
LED.
Red Bull's event management is
Oh my
fantastic.
goodness.
Yeah, they
They're
no,
really
They
do.
were insane.
They
So
do.
they had a house.
years
They had like a
now.
house music room, and the headliner there was Moon Boots, who's one of my favorites out of New York, who I got to sit and have tacos with at 5:30 in the morning
There you go.
and talk to him. But before that, then they had this little hip hop room that was a shed, and I was in there, and again, like it was little, like it's probably half the size of this room, but again, it's just a pop up, so it's a shed, and there's a song that is really popular. It's a rap song that I'm not familiar with, but everyone else knows it. But people were jumping up and down, and they broke the floor of this shed. And I had just gotten out because I was like,
It broke, as in it caved in.
Yeah, it
everybody
completely
fell
capsized. People fell in.
Wow.
And you know, I had literally just left
That's
to go to
hype.
the bathroom. Yeah,
I'm surprised that
people
hasn't
were
happened to the
jumping
Parish
up
yet.
and down.
I'm waiting on it to happen. That thing bends. You can
Oh,
feel it.
man.
You can feel it.
Everyone's like, hey, I'm gonna go to a show to Parish. Nah, not going. Not going.
It better be like a slow ballad.
Yeah.
Nothing where
I'll
anybody
be-
jumps.
I'll be way by the entrance by the bar.
Sorry to distract. That
No,
was
no,
more
no.
though.
Yeah. So that was, I mean, so that DJ in there was just playing hit after hit. I mean, they had Diplo's DJs there. They had all these. I tried to get the lineup from them, but you know, I didn't end up
Any
getting it back from them.
celebrity sighting at the Red Bull thing?
Again, I couldn't tell you because
They're big on DJs.
But I will say what they did. So everything there was all curated to Red Bull cocktails, obviously.
Sure.
So each room had its own
You're all
cocktails.
hyped up till 6 in the morning.
But it was exactly. People were like messaging me like, "How are you doing this?" I'm like, "Do you see I'm at a Red Bull party? Like I'm going to
Got an
be
IV in
hyped
now.
up on Red Bull."
I got
at my
20
eyes.
hashtags coming.
Yeah, you know. I mean, I was going.
You're all wired up.
But it was yeah, it was brilliant marketing because they had, you know, the Red Bull can and then they had the Red Bull drink and they would give you both. So they're like, here you go. And so you had to walk around with both. So you because then you'd pour the Red Bull and the colors would change and, you know.
And they had all the Red Bull types.
all the
too.
different Red Bull types.
Sugar
that you could-
free.
Tequila's
this
my drink, so
free.
I didn't really stray too far from that. So that's what I
Is
kept
it open
having.
bar too?
It was all open bar.
See, that's what they do.
Well,
No,
if it's after
hey.
2 in the morning, it has to be open bar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it
like
was
They
a
buy
open.
out the
private
place and you do
club.
whatever.
Yeah,
the
and
fuck
so
you
they
want.
had said it closed at 6, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go pop by, and I'm not gonna
You
stay.
can't pop
till
in a Red Bull party.
Well, and then I had some other friends there that, you know, ended up meeting up, and I mean, it was just, yeah, we were there just dancing, and I was like, oh my goodness, it's 5 o'clock in the morning, it's 5:30 in the morning, I'm eating taco, and again, they had Capital Taco was there, so I was eating, again, tacos, and they just had all the food trucks. It was just such a well done, fun party, and again, so that's why Sunday, like I said, Sunday was struggle bus. The struggle bus was parked at my house,
Right.
and I could not move. And so, but yeah, I ended up picking it up and keeping it going.
Man, you score more that night. Is it Ilmore? It's like the Ilmore at South by.
Oh, I went to the last one. Well, we've talked about
Late
this
night
before,
shows,
but
Those late night shows are tough. There's for our listeners out there. There's a lot of crazy secret shows and parties in East Austin after a big party or
Yeah.
a big show in East
because
Austin.
there's a lot of venues,
There's a lot of underground venues. Out
underground venues, warehouses,
Yeah.
all kinds of backyards, private homes that actually host a bunch of
Oh
events.
yeah.
All right, quick takeaways from ACL. We got to wrap it up. It's been a couple hours. And I got our baby's already in bed anyway.
Oh.
But yeah, quick takeaways. We'll go around the room from ACL.
Just general takeaway from ACL.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think as always, I think it's been said here multiple times. ACL C3, as always, y'all executed a really good event.
Salute.
Yep.
Compared to, I've been to many other festivals. This year, I'm going outside of Texas as well. Going to Voodoo Fest. I think C3 produces. Who's produces
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
C3
it's
produces it.
Live Nation,
Yeah.
C3.
So I've never been to Voodoo Fest, but I'm
You're
very
gonna
familiar
love
with
it.
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
That's
I'm
this,
trying to
this
pick
coming up weekend.
It's this coming up weekend. I'm
Yeah.
trying to pick up Childish Gambino, which I missed. Tom Mersch, who CT's bringing down here, that's already sold out.
Wow.
And Rufus Del Sol and a couple others.
It's got a good
Janelle
lineup.
Monae's
But
here
but
again.
overall, how would you rate, like, say 1 to 10? 10 being the best.
ACL, I mean, I'd have to find a reason why not to rate them a 10. Is usually how I look at these types of rating things.
Mhm.
And I can't really see a reason like why I would take away from them. They did everything well. Good lineup, good execution, good food. Was moved to the line. I wasn't molested to the security line this year. Like it was
You
all
weren't?
If you're listening,
good.
please molest Micco next year.
God,
I would feel
I-
wanted. I need my
I think
attention.
so.
I always
think
tell
he enjoys
security,
it.
I'm like, you should be paying me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why this is like, yeah.
How is this your thing? So 10, honestly, I mean, I hate to give people a perfect record, but I look at inversely. Like, why would I take points away? And I can't think of anything. Oh, the counting of the Silent Disco on Saturday. I don't go to Silent Disco, but I know people that do.
Silent Disco is fun.
The fact that it got canceled on Saturday, I'll give him a 9. Bad logistics. You should know how to manage your line so it doesn't get canceled. But it was really good aside from that.
All right, Clarissa?
I'd probably say, I mean, I actually met a gentleman at David Byrne, and we talked for a while. I mean, he flew in from Phoenix. He like checked out all the different lineups, and this was
The band?
This was his, or no, Phoenix. Phoenix, the
They
city.
flew in from the band.
Yeah, he flew
Go
in.
ahead.
But, you know, and that was something, too, just to see. He's like, this was the only festival that I felt like I could really attend because all the other ones they're so EDM focused.
Right.
And again, I love EDM, like, you know, and I think it's great, you know, they all have their different things, but I just love the diversity of the different bands. And so people that really hated on the lineup this year, I'm like, you're not looking at it for what it is. Like, you can see anything you want to see. You got the legends, you got the new artists. So, I mean, and again, being hometown, I guess I have to say the same thing. The only thing I would dock them for was that American Express stage and how they changed the way that it flowed. And just seeing these kids at Travis Scott that were dehydrated and getting pulled over, you know.
Oh, shit.
There's so much of that because they couldn't get out. There were kids literally jumping over the VIP fence to try to just get out of it because it had bottlenecked so hard and there's nowhere for them to go.
Oh.
So I mean that, and then just like I said, there's really nothing else.
What?
Food, people, awesome.
I want to add a piece of what Clarissa said, just a diversity of lineup and people that don't like ACL because it doesn't have enough R&B or hip hop or rock. Like, it's supposed to be that way.
Right.
You need to have a wide range of music taste. There's a lot of good.
That's why
amazing.
I haven't checked it out until Outkast showed up.
I mean, yeah, I mean,
It's one of my favorites.
And I missed the Lionel Richie year. I missed
was a good
there was
year.
there was
you
a
should
bunch
have
of
went to
other
the LL Cool J year.
I saw LL Cool
You
J.
said
That was
Cool
2
J there?
years.
That was 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Yeah.
2 years ago.
Yeah, I saw LL Cool J.
Man,
With
I've never seen a grown man lick his lips so much on the stage.
that's what he does.
Oh man!
In case you never
handing
seen
out
him.
roses.
Yeah,
Saw
yeah,
that at
yeah.
South by years ago
Oh,
on the Red Bull stage.
So Alex, what's your
As far as rating goes, I mean, I know you kind of just mentioned it. I mean, back, you know me, I love hip hop.
yeah?
I want to see it represented a little bit more. But I mean, there's festivals all over the country that do that. I mean, there's AC3 in Atlanta that this is all hip hop, so I could always
Go to the
that.
Roots picnic. I would love to
Or
go to
Roots
that
Picnic.
shit.
Yeah.
Afropunk.
Yeah, I mean, so there's plenty of places I can go see hip hop. But I was talking to my girlfriend about this. I like, this is my 5th time working it. This will be my 7th time going to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that Austin and Austin City Limits Music Festival is becoming a destination festival.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I was seeing people from all over the world coming here.
I didn't see that many locals.
Granted, I mean,
I ran into like people I know. I ran into 3 people the
Really?
entire weekend.
I think weekend one tends to be more local.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so too.
But I mean, it's
and one of them was a
Weekend
cop.
2 was way more packed to me than weekend 1.
It was. To me, yeah. I would
That
say the
was
same.
ridiculous.
But yeah, I love that the city and the town that I call
State.
home has become a destination festival.
Yeah.
Like Coachella, like Bonnaroo.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, like Outside Lands. Or, you know, like it's becoming where people want to come here now. And
And
then
it
you
ends
have
early, yeah.
the city right here.
And it ends at 10, so
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you can go
You can
out
still
still
enjoy
see
the
some
rest
of
of
the
Austin,
city.
yeah.
Yeah. you
I
can
made the rookie mistake of going to West 6 on Saturday night.
I
After
was there
ACL,
for the
holy
birthday.
shit, I got the fuck out of there quickly.
Really?
Why?
Yeah, it was too
Packed.
packed. People,
It was packed,
it was
probably.
too packed everywhere. There were a line down the street to go to, what's that club
Second
on West
weekend
6?
ACL, there's also a home game for UT.
No, I mean like late at night.
Well, I'm just
Well, yeah,
saying,
that,
there was that
no, but
added
that
on.
too. People were trying to. Damn, what's the
Like
bar
West
on
6
West
is a big
6
place
next
for
to
a lot
Kung
of
Fu?
alumni to go.
Upstairs.
Green Light
Oh, the
Social.
ranch.
Not Green
The
Light, the ranch.
ranch.
There was line to go to the ranch. I don't understand what there's a line to go in the ranch at all. But people would line up all the way to Buford
What?
to
Why
get
were
into
you
the
going
ranch.
to the ranch?
Right.
I was not
That's
going
what
to the
gonna
ranch.
say. I was like,
Quietly
I was
judging.
walking to catch my lift to get the
Quietly
fuck out of
judging.
there.
I
That's
was
what I
waiting
was
for like
doing.
a plug to like Plush, you know, like those little places that
No,
we used to.
Dirty
we used to
Bills
hang
was
out at.
yeah. I mean, Dirty Bills still cool,
Ranch.
but
Loved
I
it.
got the fuck out of there. Fuck the ranch. I don't like.
You were there?
Tell
I
us
didn't
how
go.
you really feel.
Oh.
I didn't go.
Okay.
But anyway,
So you didn't go in line.
I didn't
That
go.
clear. To make that clear, you did not.
No,
go
he
in
just
line.
saw the line.
You just
He
saw
I
the
saw
line.
the line. There was a line for every bar on West 6 to get in. And I went to Nickel City. I went to the Boogie Crew had their funk party on the east side.
There you go.
Much better. Anyway, my takeaway, like a festival like ACL makes me long for a Fun Fest or SOS Fest.
I miss one.
Because
Yeah,
again,
I
to
miss
your
Fun
point, like I'm a huge hip hop fan, and unless this year I really made an effort to be like, I don't know half these people on the flyer except for even the headliners, Metallica, Paul McCartney, Travis Scott. I didn't fucking know. Childish Gambino, I knew a little bit, but I was like, I'm gonna keep an open mind. I'm gonna go out there and just check it out and see what I can catch. There might be some gems in there, and I'm glad I saw Janelle Monae. I knew her, but
Right.
I wasn't familiar with her as a performing artist. And so, but I would like to see more, more, more hip hop, maybe more funk. That year the book led us, like that was dope for me. And I don't like I like small scale festivals. Like there's a stage dedicated to this, there's a stage dedicated to that, there's a stage dedicated to that. If you like that, that's where you go and hang out.
Right.
Fun had a
had
great
that
format for
nailed
that.
down.
So when they bring on Wu Tang and they bring on whoever, like, okay, this is where I'm gonna hang out. I can venture out a little bit, but I know what I'm getting into if I'm going that way.
Right.
True.
And so when you have a sea of people and you can't get anywhere and you're stuck or you're dehydrated because you're up front because you wanted to catch your artist and you pass
Right.
out, that's too much. So, I mean, not that I
But
would,
you're talking about completely different production, like
No, I
Superior
do,
Live,
but
you had like Margin Walkers, they were a local group that did fun, and you're talking about a bunch of skater dudes that wanted to see the bands that they wanted to see.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
how
I
they
mean,
had- I'm
I've had
surprised they even pulled half the bands. That
I've
they
had Graham on the show.
Yeah.
We talked about all that. But as far as the like the experience itself, I had a great time, honestly. Like I said, I kept an open mind. I guess I'll see some bands that I didn't know that I would like. I don't know if I'm gonna go and download the albums or what, but I'm glad I got to see him perform.
But as a
the
festival,
beauty of
as a festival goes, would you buy a ticket before the lineup comes out?
Ooh.
That's
That's
a
a great
true
question.
No, I
measure.
wouldn't.
That's a true measure
Honestly,
of
I
like
would
how
not.
Yeah.
well a festival is put together. Is
I
to
personally would
me is
not.
like whenever I'm in Coachella, I mean you're gonna
I
buy
do
a
that
ticket.
every year.
Right,
Like,
it's
give
like
me a
when
reason.
I went to
I'll buy
Bonnaroo one
ACL
year-
before I see the lineup.
All right, when I went to Bonnaroo back in 07, I was like, I'm going again in 08, and I did. I had no idea who was gonna play there. Because
I'm
Did
not-
you
I'm
enjoy
not-
the festival itself and the bands?
You got to give me a reason.
I mean, the tickets this year also, I mean, that's a whole other topic about how much the tickets were getting scalped for.
Yeah.
Oh,
they were
they
getting
sold. I think they
$600.
sold.
They
I
sold
think
out.
they sold like 6,000 more tickets this year than any other ACL.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, weekend too. The first day I had some friends that were, last minute, and they were going for $600 on the street.
That's crazy.
Damn.
I had somebody online.
okay.
I was
That's
just
cheap.
curious. I was trying to help a friend out. Somebody messaged me and goes, "Oh yeah, just send me the money and then I'll change the name and we'll call." I'm like, "How the fuck you gonna do that? There's no such thing as transfer the
No,
name."
don't trust it.
I'm like, "No, sorry."
Wow.
All right, we're gonna wrap things up. This was a great show, long show. It's already
It
10
was a long
o'clock.
show, yeah.
It's all right. I mean, it was expected. Every time we recap a festival, and we have experts in the room. That's how it goes.
Nah, this is the expert right here.
Oh,
Yep.
Y'all
She's the
are-
queen.
Yeah,
She's
she's
the
the queen. She's the queen. So
She's the queen.
let's go around. Oh, fuck. You know what? I knew that was coming. At some point,
wasn't sure if I was gonna
Go
come
ahead.
back.
And it was
you
gonna be
know?
off
Hey,
key.
just
Thank you.
Get off camera before you just hop on one leg.
Yeah, right.
And all that stuff.
I love it.
Let's go around.
That's
Quick
fun.
plugs. Alex, you want to plug anything? Your photography?
Yeah, C12 Photos, local photography. I've been doing. I started out concert photography. Do a lot more other things nowadays, but started back in 07 at Voodoo Fest. Actually, that was where I kind of got my break. And Foo Fighters was the band that broke me in, and I was like, this is what I want to do.
Dope, man. Congrats.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Dope.
Did they break your egg on you?
Yeah.
You know
Put
what?
that to us. Sorry.
Yeah.
I had 3 songs
Actually,
to
we
shoot.
gonna
I shot
skip
30
you.
seconds of the first one.
I do have a plug, but you can skip it for now.
No. I want Clarissa. No, but go for it. Micco, anything you want to plug?
The Down Market, who's helped us out before, they have a new show out called The Common Stream. Think NPR Tiny Desk with YouTube colors. I'm the music editor on that. I'm interviewing the artists.
Oh, cool.
It's great, good live music, good deconstructed set. Check it out at the Down Market, and yeah, that'll be my plug.
There you go. Nice.
Sweet. Clarissa?
I will say, I mean, if you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm always kind of posting, the latest and greatest of what I feel like is happening in Austin. So yeah, it's ATX Concert Queen, and then also, I mean, the festival I'm doing next is Utopia. So Utopia Fest, I'm really excited about
First
that.
weekend of November?
Yeah, so first weekend of November, and then just some of the brands I've been working with, Earbuds Music, awesome, again, social music sharing app, and then
If you'd like to sponsor us, we're welcome.
yeah. So just there's some really cool brands that I'm lucky to work with, and so yeah, just supporting local. I mean, they're a local
Nice.
business.
A couple of things. Well, first of all, Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you follow the FeedBak BAK on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. I'm starting a new little project called Hip Hop Bingo, and we're having our first one on this Wednesday. So by the time this comes out, it might have missed it. So we'll have another one. But anyway, the point is, like, it's a bingo game with hip hop. Instead of like checking numbers, we're calling artists.
I want to go to that.
You call an artist and you go, be Tupac, and then DJ plays a little bit of Tupac, and then you punch it.
Gosh,
There you go.
And then we have challenges like lip sync battles and karaoke and trivia and
Yeah, I'm ready.
It's an
finish the lyrics.
experience.
Where's this at?
It's gonna be here at Native.
Oh, so
On
fun.
Wednesday.
Native has got some fun events.
Shout out to Native, by the way. Thank you
Shout
for
out
letting
to
me.
Native.
Home court
This
advantage.
is my first
Yeah.
time here.
Really?
It's a good
Yeah,
look.
It's gonna be a go-to now because this
Yeah.
is like.
They bring some solid DJs. They have some solid events. I mean,
Yep.
everything.
If you get tired, you can sleep.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
pull
Oh,
it
just to
out.
pay for it, yeah, you can sleep. Yeah, I mean it's the hostel / lounge / restaurant / event space /
Bar
coffee
/
shop
coffee bar, yeah.
No,
slash
it's cool. I like
you
the
name
vibe
it.
of
So many
It's
things.
nice.
But anyway, thanks so much for tuning in. Follow the FeedBak. Thank you, Micco. Thank you, Ali. Shout out to Mike. Thank you, Clarissa. I really appreciate it. I hope you come
Thank you,
back.
guys. Yeah,
and
love to.
next
It's really fun.
next big festival we all go to.
Yep.
Definitely bring you back and get your take on stuff.
Sounds great.
All right, it's getting late, folks. It's Sunday. Have a
Love
good
you,
week.
America.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Ciao, ciao.